Chapter 4253 by Xiala stands in the eyebrow of the nine-tailed fox with purple pupils. Their pupils are interlinked and their souls are linked. This is a kind of art of combination. This art of combination only exists in legend, and no one has seen it with his own eyes. Now the two have no longer trust each other, but the soul of Zijiao and Xiaobai. The suppressed power of Zitong nine-tailed fox is gradually released. The power of Zitong nine-tailed fox in the past is slowly returning. The most important thing is that its purple pupil and Bai Xiaole's three-flower pupil are in common, which can be said to be like a tiger adding wings to it. Previously, it has been dissatisfied with Bai Xiaole, feeling cheated, and wants to terminate the contract with Bai Xiaole. But last time, Su Xiner took the hand of Zitong Jiawei Fox, and Bai Xiaole took the risk of destroying her eyes to fight against the immortal magic weapon, which completely moved Zitong Jiawei Fox. Without the heart of rejection, it began to accept Bai Xiaole sincerely, and the two finally had a tacit understanding. Boom! Purple pupil nine-tail fox, nine-tail tremor, whistling away. Boom! With a bang, Zitong's nine-tailed fox's claws are patted on Zijin Bell. Zijin Bell is shaken away, and Su Xiner, who controls Zijin Bell, is in a great embarrassment. At this time, countless strong people of the Purple Blood Su family came to support Su Xiner, but Zitong Nine-Tail Fox was so powerful that everyone didn't think much of them. Seeing this scene, Long Chun completely put down his heart. Behind him, Kunpeng's wings trembled. Like lightning, people rushed to Long Outyin in an instant. Long Chen's speed was faster than that of Long Outyin and kicked him down. Boom! One foot falls down, the void collapses, and the dragon is proud of the sky. With a cold hum, he quickly retrogresses, but he doesn't compete with Long Chen. Want to keep your strength? It depends on whether you have that ability behind the dragon dust, the wings of Kunpeng quiver. Long Chen changed his body method 3 times in a row, leaving a long string of illusions between heaven and earth. At this time, Long Chen's speed was so fast that he couldn't catch it with his naked eyes. Bang! In the endless illusion, a golden fist smashes at Long Outyin. With a bang, Long Outyin flies out, but what shocked Long Chen is that his fist hits Long Outyin, and the colorful lights on Long Aoshan's body shine, even taking off 80% of his power. Long Chen's heart is greatly surprised. You know how solid the power of his fist is. The 5 colors of Shenhui even offset so much power. Although Long Outyin flies backwards, this blow will not cause any damage to him. Looking at Long Chen's shocked face, a sneer appeared on Long Aoshan's face. See? This is the ability of colorful supreme blood. With the help of my ancestors, I have completely activated it. Su Xiner's words wake me up. It's too cheap to kill you directly. I want you to bear endless pain and kill you again. Don't dare to fight with me and find so many excuses. Long Outyin, you are so sorry for your name. Long Chen sneers. Trying to provoke me? When I kill your women one by one, do you still have the heart to provoke me? Ha ha ha. Long Outyin looks up at the sky and laughs. Suddenly, his figure is in a flash, so he bypasses the dragon dust and kills the dragon blood army from another direction. Kill all those related to dragon dust. At this time, Lotus no shadow a cold drink, with the strong of the undead race straight to the dragon blood army. You don't have to worry about the dragon dust. As long as you work together and crush them with thunder, you can kill them all without taking a few breaths. The strong man of Xiangui clan yelled. Let's do it together. No one is allowed to keep it. Yi Wuchen stops drinking and takes his disciples to kill him. Boom! Hundreds of thousands of strong men rushed to the dragon blood army together. As soon as these people made a move, the whole challenge arena was shaking, and the powerful pressure seemed to burst the whole border. At that moment, all the creatures in the challenge arena were shocked. The battle had not started yet, but their breath had crushed the whole arena. They are the most powerful of all ethnic groups. All of them are the top 3. At the same time, they summon visions. At that moment, the whole world will turn pale. The real showdown has begun. At that moment, Mengqi and others' face suddenly become serious. All of them put on a fighting posture. Suddenly, the distant dragon dust stops chasing Long Outyen, and the man comes to the front of the dragon blood army with a twinkle. He holds the sky in one hand, and a white flame rises in his hand. At the same time, the holy and solemn chanting sound reverberates between heaven and earth. When the chanting sound rings, the challenge arena border trembles, and the endless power of fire rushes to the dragon dust through the border. What? Can Longchen ignore the border and absorb the power of the outside world? Watching the endless power of fire pouring into the arena, people were shocked. Buzz, and the white flame lotus in Longchen's hand suddenly soared to tens of thousands of miles. The terrible high temperature made the whole arena feel like being in a sea of fire. But in the sea of fire, there are snowflakes flying, which makes people feel hot and cold. It seems that the whole person is going to explode. When she saw the huge white lotus, Lian Wuing and others were shocked. She had seen the terrible power of Bingpa. You know, at that time, Longchen only used Bingpo's power in a simple way, but now she uses Bingpo's skill. The strength of the two is very different. Work together to stop him. Zhao Xingtian and others also have a look of horror. The white lotus, let him smell the death crisis. Boom! These hundreds of thousands of strong men stopped at the same time, all of them opened up the magic light, and all kinds of light shields overlapped in front of them. Hundreds of thousands of top strong men, at the same time, opened their shields to resist one person's move. This alone has proved that the move of Longchen is terrible. Exterminating Fire Lotus, Longchen stops drinking, and tens of thousands of miles of White Lotus in his hand shoots away. The huge roar is deafening. Just as everyone is waiting for the shock of the world to see who is stronger, a surprising scene appears. The Fire Lotus of dragon dust flies over the top of Lian Wang's head. Crooked. Inside and outside of the challenge arena, countless people are silly. How can such a terrible move go wrong? No, his goal. Some people outside exclaimed, and then some people were shocked to find that the flame lotus went straight to a large crowd in the distance, and that group of people were the powerful demons. Run away, the powerful demons scream in horror. When they notice, they are shocked to find that the space is distorted. They seem to be bound by the stars and can't run at all. Boom! The flame lotus explodes in the demon army, and the huge flame engulfs 1,000,000 miles of space. The lotus blooms, and the flame soars into the sky, and countless demon strongmen turn into ice chips in a flash. The ice crumbs are burning and falling everywhere. You can't see the blood in the sky or hear the shrill scream. You can only see the burning flame rising. The intense high temperature makes the boundary of the challenge arena collapse. It seems that it will be burned. Boom! When people looked at this scene in horror, suddenly the bead of Qi Yun in the core area of the challenge arena exploded. In the morning of summer, all the people of the Dragon Blood army disappeared out of thin air. When they appeared again, they had reached the edge of the bead of Qi. At this time, the whole arena was in chaos, because people saw that on the bead of Qi Yun, endless runes were flying, which were just fragments of Qi Yun. Grab it! At that moment, all creatures were crazy, like the tide, rushing from all directions to the bead of Qi. However, Longchen didn't look at the bead of Qi, but at the bottom of it, where a dark gate appeared. Dragon dust, it appears. When he saw the gate, Mo Nian's voice came. Mo Nian's voice trembled, and he felt afraid. When Longchen saw the gate, he felt numb, and a strong death crisis came to his heart. Kaka kaka. At this moment, the door opened slowly. At the moment when the door opened, a gloomy and terrible voice came, "Ha ha, it's finally unsealed. Damn Terran, kneel down and repent." P.S. Today's low back pain, tomorrow's vaccination, the old devil will not stay up late, today's 2 more, after the vaccination, the old devil will continue to explode. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4254, Kaka Kaka. The huge door opened slowly, as if the door of purgatory was about to open. The terrible sound came along the crack of the door, shaking all directions. Along with the sound, there was a vast air of chaos. Endless air of chaos gushed out from the crack of the door, covering the whole holy kingdom in an instant. All the creatures present, regardless of race, felt refreshed, and even those who were strong in heaven felt that the bottleneck began to loosen. At that moment, all the living beings present felt that they were full of strength. In the chaos, they were moistening things silently with the powerful laws of heaven and earth. Every strong person was moistened. The complete law of heaven and earth. Some people exclaim excitedly that the chaotic chi, which contains the complete law of heaven and earth, will cause them to get stuck for countless years. This also means that a lot of strong people who can't advance in their life have hope again. However, the Terran strong men are not happy. Although they also feel the strong chaos and the bottleneck is loosening, they are nothing compared with the terrible voice. Immortal. Among the Terrans, someone exclaimed that although the voice came out through the crack of the door, part of the prestige was offset by the huge door. However, the immortal power contained in the voice made people creepy. Someone recognized that the owner of the voice was probably immortal. Boom. The pearl of chi movement in the core of the challenge arena is booming, and endless fragments of chi movement are flying in all directions, attracting countless creatures to snatch. However, the core of Qiyun bead is still stable. The broken one is just a piece on the edge of it. The Qiyun bead is slowly rotating, and it seems very difficult to rotate. It seems that something is involved in it. Kaka kaka. At the bottom of the challenge arena, the huge door of hundreds of millions of miles is also slowly opening, but the door is too big and too thick, just showing a small gap. You can't see the situation inside. However, as the door slowly opens, more and more chaos gas flows into the world. Endless trees are growing crazily in Holy King state, and the whole world becomes vibrant. Chaos gas has brought earth-shaking changes here. Countless creatures rush to the bead of chi transportation. They don't care what gate they are, they only want the fragments of chi transportation. Hoo-hoo! When the rune flies all over the sky, someone reaches for it. When someone grabs it, the rune immediately melts into the man's hand and becomes one with him. Poof, however, the man just merged a Qiyun rune, which was torn up by a demon strongman. At the moment when the man was killed, the rune that he integrated into his body flew out. When you see the fragments of chi transportation, even after death, you can fight for them. At that moment, all the creatures are crazy. They fight for the fragments of rune while looking at others. Once the weak person grabs the fragments of rune, they will set up killers. Even if the other person is of the same race or not, even if they are relatives, they will kill them. All the creatures are crazy. They took the most and killed them. Some people who are strong in the human race see the divine radiance flowing on everyone in the dragon blood army. It's a vision created after absorbing the chi rune. It's very easy to recognize. At that moment, their eyes were red, because Long Chen had already informed Xia Chen to be ready. When Long Chen killed the powerful demons, Xia Chen started the transmission. When the air transport debris was flying all over the sky, they just brought it here and ate the strongest wave of debris. Everyone here snatched the debris, and even strong people like Mengqi and Chuyao snatched tens of thousands of debris. Go! In the morning of summer, there was a sudden break of drinking, and the whole space was distorted. All the strong ones on the Dragon Blood Army disappeared in a flash, and they were sent on a large scale again. Those who want to kill and win the treasure, all of a sudden rushed to the air, and all the Dragon Blood Legion have been sent to the edge of the challenge arena, where they originally stayed. Xiachen uses directional transmission. Only by arranging the transmission coordinates in the air in advance can such a large-scale transmission be achieved. Although the transmission distance is not too far because of the large number of people and the high intensity, the two transmissions consumed more than 3,000 array disks in the morning of summer, and the pain was so great that it had to bleed. You know, every array needs a lot of materials and hard work. He can't bear such a large consumption. However, this time, they devoured most of the rune fragments, and each of them gained profits. If they didn't come too fast and give them too little time, they could even devour all the runes. Boom boom. Xia Chen and others retreated, but the core area was in chaos. In order to fight for the remaining air transport debris, These creatures launched a crazy killing. The number of people is too dense, the scene is too chaotic, every blink of an eye, there are countless creatures on the spot, the picture is bloody. Long Chen did not pay attention to those people fighting, his eyes always look at the huge door, but nothing can be seen in the gap of the door. Although there is an endless influx of chaotic qi to supplement the energy of the world and make up for the defects of the world, Long Chen always feels that danger is coming. Die. At this time, Purple Pupil Nine-Tailed Fox's pop drink came from the distance, followed by a scream. Su Shiner was torn to pieces by a claw. When Su Shiner was killed, the purple golden bell was caught by the Purple Pupil Nine-Tailed Fox. It yelled excitedly and hung the bell on its neck. Xiaola, Xiaojiu, let's look behind the gate. Long Chen talks to Bai Xiaola and Zitong Jiuwei Fox. It's a piece of cake. Bai Xiaola did not speak. Purple Pupil Nine-Tailed Fox a smile. At this time it is extremely arrogant, a pair of invincible appearance. Buzz, the space trembles, and the dragon dust appears on the top of the Purple Pupil Nine-Tailed Fox. Bai Xiaola's hands are sealed, and the 3 flowers flow in her eyes, looking at the crack of the door. Longchen and Zitong Jiuwei Fox close their eyes at the same time. With the help of Bai Xiaola's eyes, they look at the crack of the door together. Through the crack of the door, Longchen sees a vibrant world, where the sky is blue, as if it had been washed, the green mountains are picturesque, the green water is like clouds and smoke, just like a fairyland on earth. Look down. Long Chen didn't have time to look further, so he asked Bai Xiaola to look down along the crack of the door. As his vision moved down, suddenly Long Chen snorted, and Bai Xiaola and Zitong Jiuwei Fox screamed, and Zitong Jiuwei Fox's eyes were bleeding. What do you see? In the distance, Emon Yen asked. Endless demons are at the door. One of them is a terrible guy. He just looked at us and almost made our soul collapse. Long Chen's face was shocked. We have to destroy the Pearl of Qi, or the gate will open and we will all be finished. Emon Yen is anxious. Although Long Chen didn't feel that person's breath, but can a look almost let his soul collapse. I'm afraid is immortal class strong. Let's do it together. Well, break the bead of luck anyway. Long Chen took a deep breath. At that moment, Mingqi, Chu Yao, Tang Weiner, Yu Zhiqiu, Dong Minjiu, Lu Ruyan and others were all ready. Up, Long Chen rushed to the bead of qi, and at the same time, he had a bronze tripod in his hand. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4255 Dragon Dust has no time to explore the opposite world, but Dragon Dust sees endless demons. Once the door is opened, I'm afraid no one here can leave alive. Emon Yen is right. It's a trap. It's a big trap. Everyone has been used. The bead of Qi Yun blinds everyone's eyes, and it is only a bait, but also the key to open the door. Now the door is slowly opened, which is the power brought by the bead of Qi, and the power of the bead of Qi comes from the power of blood and soul here. Now there is a scuffle and endless death. It will only speed up the opening of the gate. Longchen can't wait any longer. He has to break the bead of Qi. Boom! Dragon Dust holding heaven and earth ding, resolutely rushed to the bead of Qi, huge roar, cut through the void. Countless scuffling creatures are hit by the strong wind. The heaven and earth tripod in Longchen's hand is smashed on the bead of Qi transportation. The beads of Qi movement tremble and shine. The huge beads of Qi movement are sunken by the dragon dust. At that moment, countless people were surprised and looked at the bronze tripod in Longchen's hand. Countless people recognized its lineup. Isn't that tripod sold? What else does this guy have? Boom! Just when people were still surprised at the bronze tripod, the sunken bead of Qi transport suddenly bounced the dragon dust and the tripod out. What? Longchen's face changed greatly. This is heaven and earth cauldron. It can't destroy the bead of Qi. At that moment, Long Chen's head was blank. Haha, idiot, do you believe in selling fake goods? Do you think the broken cauldron in your hand is really heaven and earth cauldron? Some people see Long Chen's dull face and can't help sneering. Suddenly, a black divine light across the void and cut heavily on the bead of Qi Yun. As a result, the bead of Qi-yun also collapsed, and then a small figure was also ejected. Dongminjiu also made a move, but it was useless. Dongminjiu also had a look of disbelief. Since she had this mysterious dagger, she had never met anything that could block its cutting. "Master, what's the matter? How can the heaven and earth cauldron not break it?" Long Chen shouts anxiously. "It's a Kuan Ding, but it's een and softness. The bead of Qi movement is also the most soft thing. It's really hard to break. Originally, the black dagger could be broken, but your strength is not good, your attack power is not concentrated enough, and it is useless." The dragon strongman responded. "Not enough concentration?" Long Chen's heart moved. Boom. Tang Weiner doesn't believe in evil, but she can't help it. However, Long Chen finds that they are trying their best to attack the bead of Qi-yun. Long Outyan, Lian Wuing Yi Wuchen, Zhao Xingtian, the princess of the Dark Knight clan, ghosts and other creatures do not stop them, but watch coldly in the distance. At this time, all the runes around the bead of Qi transportation have been absorbed, but no one shakes the rest of the bead of Qi transportation. Countless strong men go straight to kill the dragon blood army in the distance. Zifeng Long Chen suddenly stopped drinking. "Give it to me." Yu Zifeng's figure appears in the void. He looks at the huge bead of Qi in front of him, and his big hand slowly touches the hilt behind him. What is he going to do? He didn't want to. Are these guys crazy? Outside the challenge arena, countless strong people saw this scene. They were shocked at first, and then their faces appeared the color of ridicule. Summer morning. Long Chen makes a wink to Xia Chen. Xia Chen immediately understands and takes out a lot of array plates quietly. When Yu Zifeng stands on the top of the bead of Qi transportation, compared with the huge bead of Qi transportation, Yu Zifeng is as small as mole ants. Yu Zifeng was dressed in white, and his long hair floated slowly. In his eyes, two sharp swords gradually appeared. Hiss hiss. There was a strange noise around Yu Zifeng, and black silk threads began to appear in the space. The black silk threads swayed in the air. When people looked at the silk threads carefully, their faces changed greatly. That space crack. Some people exclaimed that Yu Zifeng did not break out any momentum, let alone amazing vision, but there was a space crack around him. And these cracks in space are not straight, but they are flying like hair. 1, 2, 800, 8,000, 10,000. Endless black lines flying, so that the strong can see the world inside the space crack from the black stripes. But those cracks didn't make any sound. At that moment, it seemed that the whole world was quiet. Mu Qingyun looks at Yu Zifeng. Her eyes are full of worship. She records every movement and breath of Yu Zifeng with her heart. On the side of the Dragon Blood Legion, everyone held his breath, while Long Outyan, Lian Wuing and others looked ironic. Obviously, they knew that no one could destroy the bead of Qi, at least no one could do it in the Holy King state. Yu Zifeng's voice is cold and aloof, just like the sword gods murmuring, just like the law of heaven and earth, reverberating between heaven and earth, 9 days and 10 places, 3 streams, there is no one who can't break. Choking, suddenly Yu Zifeng's sword came out of its sheath. This time, Yu Zifeng's speed was not fast, and everyone could see his action clearly. At the moment when Yu Zifeng's sword fell, the heaven and the earth rippled. You can see a sword like a crescent moon across the sky wall. At this moment, the law of 10,000 ways was annihilated, and the rune of the Great Way was dissipated. This sword startled the heaven and the earth, weeping ghosts and gods. What it contained was a will that could not be defeated without force. At that moment, time seemed to slow down. People clearly saw the crescent moon cutting on the bead of Qi. Boom! The voice finally appeared. In the eyes of countless people, the bead of Qi which could not be shaken by Long Chen and Dong Minjiu exploded. The beads of Qi transport burst open, endless runes flying, just like the flowers of the avenue blooming, but the process of blooming is still so slow. Just at the moment when the bead of Qi transportation explodes, the space in the core area of the bead of Qi transportation slowly distorts, and a group of figures appear. They are all the strong men in the Dragon Blood Army, and they appear again. They appear directly in the Sea of Runes. They devour the flying runes desperately. Seeing this scene, people recovered from shock. All the strong men, such as Long Outyin and Lian Wuing, were shocked and angry. They never thought that the bead of Qi Yun, which had nothing to break, had been killed by a sword. Quick, go to Rob. Some people roared, but soon, a scene that shocked everyone appeared. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4256. Lian Wang and others rush to the core area at the fastest speed, but they are shocked to find that their speed has become slow. His body seemed to be in the water, his legs seemed to be filled with lead, and he became extremely clumsy. Everything around has slowed down, and even the voice of someone shouting is intermittent, which sounds so strange. What? This sword breaks the law of time? Outside the challenge arena, there was a cry from heaven. It's not to cut off the law of time. If it is cut off, the time inside will be still. His sword disrupts the flow of time. Therefore, the time in the arena is different from that of the outside world. Someone said in horror, "Isn't it only the immortal strong can break the law of time and space?" Some people look unbelievable. That's right, but Jianxiu, it can break all the rules. Someone sighed. Sword cultivation is an alternative in the world of practice. It can't be calculated by common sense, let alone judged by the framework of the world of practice. It's a group of unreasonable people. Yu Zifeng cut off with a sword, the shadow of the sword disappeared in his eyes, and his face was as pale as paper. Poof! Yu Zifeng suddenly burst out with blood, but he had a smile on his face. I finally felt the barrier. With that, Yu Zifeng's eyes suddenly darkened, and he was in a coma. This sword was his whole heart and soul, without any reservation. In the world of practice, all the strength of the whole body can be aroused with one stroke. Only sword practice can do it. No one can break this rule except sword cultivation. Even if it is as strong as dragon dust, there are many big moves, but none of them can make him concentrate all his strength into one. If there is, then the dragon dust after this move must be broken, the soul exhausted, like fireworks, bloom into eternal death. Only the most powerful sword cultivation can concentrate all forces together, which is why sword cultivation is called attack first among all practitioners, and no one dares to question it. Long Chen catches Yu Zifeng and investigates his body. He finds that Yu Zifeng's essence, qi and spirit are all in deficit and he is in a coma. Fortunately, he is not injured, so Long Chen is relieved. Qingyun, take care of Zifeng. Long Chen pushed Yu Zifeng to Mu Qingyun, and at this time, the velocity of space in the whole arena instantly returned to normal. Lian Wuing, Long Outyin, Yu Wuchen and others roared to kill. At this time, they were all red-eyed, the beads of qi transportation were broken, the qi transportation runes were scattered everywhere, and the runes in the core area were absorbed by the dragon blood soldiers, the Xinghe sect, the academy, the war temple and the strong people who supported the dragon dust. But on the periphery of the core, there are still a lot of Qiyun runes flying. They stare at these runes and are ready to snatch them first and then kill them. Suddenly in the void, a large golden net opens, covering all the runes in an instant. At that moment, Long Outyin and others are surprised and angry. They follow the big net, and then they see an obscene face with a sinister smile. Emon Yen, it was Emon Yen who cast the net. Standing on the crystal coffin, he was pulling the fishing net rapidly. He didn't know what material the net was made of, so he could stick those runes. In the past, all the runes that had not been absorbed were caught. This is the real net. At that moment, the eyes of Long Outyin and others were blue. Before, the rune around the bead of qi transportation exploded. They didn't participate in the fight, because they know that those things are just skin and fur, and the real core is essence. And the core part needs to absorb enough blood and soul before it can be opened. Only when people fight and fight in chaos can the core part be opened. However, they never imagined that all of them changed because of Yu Zifeng's sword. The pearl of luck was chopped by Yu Zifeng, and the essence was split up by nearly half of the people on the side of dragons and dust. And the other half is caught by Emon Yen. If Emon Yen succeeds, Then these people plan to participate in the Holy King's meeting, but they don't get it. Death. The first one to kill Emon Yen was Yen Wuji, the Queen of Man. The vision behind her opened up, and a magnificent figure appeared. The endless imperial power stirred up and the heaven and the earth resonated, killing Emon Yen with one blow. At this time Yen Wuji is really anxious, before he even pursued to kill Emon Yen, but has always kept the strength, is for the final movement essence. Now sees that most of the essence of the movement is completely destroyed by the ink. He no longer keeps it, and directly calls out the Emperor's vision. Bang! Yen Wuji has just come out, and a golden figure comes with endless dragon power. In the process of dragon chanting, Long Chen punches out, and their fists collide fiercely. Yen Wuji's whole body shakes and flies backwards. As Long Chen bumps into a meteor, his blood surges and flies backwards. "Good brother, buy me some time," Emon Yen yelled, while he quickly closed the net. This huge net was prepared by Emon Yen long ago. It was specially prepared for collecting air transport debris. However, when he spread it, he regretted it. He is too greedy, because there are too many pieces of air transport, it becomes extremely difficult to put the net away. Now that so many people have killed him, he is flustered. "Take yours," Long Chen shouts. The wings of Kun Peng tremble behind him. His big hands open and the thunder trembles. A thunderball rises rapidly. The thunderball roars and smashes at Long Outyin and others. Mishi Leguang Long Chen's hand is extremely fast. He doesn't need to make a seal, and he doesn't need to pinch the formula. Just after fighting with Yen Wuji, he has a 10,000-mile thunderball in his hand, and the speed is dazzling. The huge light ball breaks away from the hand of Long Chen, rises rapidly, and explodes in front of Long Outyin and others. The raging thunder has turned into a boundless thunder sea, engulfing hundreds of millions of strong people and turning countless people into ashes in the thunder sea. My God, that's the thunder of the disaster. He can control the disaster. Someone exclaimed. Hoo-hoo. However, although Dragon Dust's thunder is terrible, it still can't stop Dragon Outyin, Lotus Shadowless and other strong men. They come through the Thunder Sea. However, just as they had just crossed the Thunder Sea, a huge flame lotus bloomed and devoured them in an instant. After the Thunder Sea is the Sea of Fire, although the attack is not strong, but under the space distortion, the speed of Lianwang, Longation and others is suddenly reduced. Just then, Emon Yen finally put the golden net away and put it in the crystal coffin. When Long Outyin and others come out of the Sea of Fire, they just see that Emon Yen has put away the coffin, and Long Aoshan's face changes in an instant. Long Chen, Emon Yen, I don't want that Qi Yun rune. I want you to die in endless pain. The dragon Ao Day roars, suddenly his whole body trembles, the multicolored vision instantly becomes 7 colors, his breath instantly soars dozens of times. Bang! The void under his feet exploded. To everyone's surprise, instead of attacking Longchen and Munin, he rushed to the direction of the Dragon Blood Army. Kill all these people first. Their runes have just been absorbed. Killing them will explode. Lianwang drinks angrily. Then all the strong men in the challenge arena killed the Dragon Blood Army from all directions. Long Chen held his fists tightly and his eyes were cold. Suddenly, the golden dragon scale on Long Chen's body seemed to be stimulated by something. It opened slowly, and endless power flowed on the dragon scale. Cloud Dragon offers its claws, with the sound of dragon dust. The strength of the whole body surges into the dragon claws like the tide, and goes straight to the dragon's proud sky to catch it. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4257 Long Outyin takes the lead to rush to the Dragon Blood Army. The Tianjiao of the dragon family follow closely, and the dragon claws fall in the air, covering all the Dragon Outyin and others. This claw, with an endless breath of death, breaks open thousands of ways. Long Outyin again and again and again and again to the Dragon Blood Legion and others, Long Chun completely angry, regardless of the future war situation, directly used the big kill move. Colorful blood shield, under the attack of the dragon's claw, there is no way to avoid it. When the dragon Outyin stops drinking, there are 7 colors behind him. In front of him, there are 18 bloody borders. On each border, there are 7 colors of divine light. When the border opens, countless people are surprised. Even the strong outside the challenge arena can feel the terrible atmosphere, including gold, wood, water, fire, earth, and yin and yang, and each force is pure to the extreme. Even if you are a strong person in heaven, you've never seen a person possess so many attributes at the same time. You should know that the supreme of the 3 poles has only 3 kinds of power. Dragon Outyin has 7 kinds of power at the same time, and each one is extremely powerful. The power of the 5 elements flows, and yin and yang are surging. This kind of shield is almost equivalent to a big array, which can counteract the endless power. It's very difficult to break one. However, Long Outyin even broke up as many as 18. Boom boom. In front of the dragon claw, the indestructible colorful shield was smashed one by one like paper. Outside the challenge arena, the strong faces of the dragon family changed greatly. Elder 8 stood up and couldn't believe it. You know Long Aocean's strength, he is the most clear. Long Aocean's colorful supreme blood is simply the existence of abnormal. The 5-color shield is hard to break for the general 3 extreme supremacy, because under the circulation of the 5 elements, the power of others will be offset by more than 80% or even all. And the colorful shield, plus the yin and yang forces, 8 elders have personally tested. Even if he wants to break a colorful shield, all need to do his best. He knows how terrible the colorful shields of Long Outyin are. When Long Outyin arranges 18 shields in succession, he also thinks that Long Outyin is too cautious and there is no need to do so. Bang bang. One shield after another was broken, and the dragon claws were not weakened. In the eyes of countless people, after breaking 18 shields, they went straight to the dragon Outyin to catch them. Choking, the long sword of the dragon Outyin comes out of its sheath, the colorful divine radiance surges, and the cold light splits the sky. It is an immortal divine weapon. When it is cut down with one sword, the gods will make changes. Boom! In the face of Long Aocean's sword, the dragon dust does not dodge, the dragon claw still grabs, a startling sound explodes, and the colorful divine light surges. The sword chi created by Long Outyin is suddenly crushed by Long Chen. At that moment, Long Aocean's face changed. The claw of Long Chen broke 18 shields in a row before it fell down. According to reason, the claw was already at the end of the crossbow and could not withstand a single attack. That's it. Well done. The voice of the dragon strongman reverberates in Long Chen's mind. It is obvious that he is extremely excited. Long Chen's move makes him very satisfied. Long Chen is also very excited. Thanks to the instruction of the dragon strongman in front of the bone tablet, Long Chen has improved the supernatural power and really understood the correct usage of the supernatural power. Before, Long Chen had a fight with Long Outyin, and his body-protecting spirit had reduced nearly 90% of his strength. The colorful supreme blood was too strong, so he brought his own array blessing. However, in front of the real cloud dragon claws, it's not enough. Long Chen uses the claws to drive the whole Buddha's strength and transport the power at the fingertips, so that all the strength is concentrated together. The 7-color shield couldn't absorb his power at all. One claw fell down and the 18 shields broke. The power of this attack still remained about 80%. The strike of Long Chen is almost perfect. No wonder the dragon strongman will praise it. Let alone Long Chen, even the dragon strongman can control this move to this extent. It is absolutely rare. Long Aocean's sword chi was suddenly crushed by Long Chen's claw, and he was angry. He stepped on the void, and his sword pointed to the sky. In the vision behind him, one day in January, 5 colors of divine light appeared. Boom! The sound of God is surging, yin and yang are alternating, and 5 elements are changing. The light of God is twining on the sword. The colorful light is flowing on the sword, and the sharp air is rising. It seems that the whole world is going to be split. It's time for Long Chen to die. This seven-ju sword is an ancient magic weapon, which just fits the attribute of Aotian. When you see Aotian, you instantly recognize the master. Aotian inspires the power of this sword. Even if it's congenital, you have to give up. No one is his opponent in the challenge arena. 8 elders see this scene, Heihei smile. Kijusha, dragon Aotian roars, his sword trembles and cuts down suddenly. Ooh, at the moment of Dragon Aotian's sword cutting down, dragon dust jumps in front of dragon Aotian. Long Aotian is so scared that Long Chen avoids the lock of the seven-ju sword. Before his sword is cut off, Long Chen is in front of him. Long Aotian never dreamed that the seven-ju sword in his hand was an immortal artifact. The ancient magic weapon could not lock the dragon dust. The Chi-ju sword changes its moves temporarily and changes its vertical chop to horizontal chop. It has to be said that Long Aotian is also a unique talent. The speed of changing moves is incomparable. Poof! To everyone's surprise, Long Chen, who rushes to the front of Long Aotian, is cut into 2 pieces by Long Aotian's sword. No, that's separation. I'm proud of heaven. The strong one of the dragon family was shocked. They see, Long Chen stands in the same place and doesn't move at all. What rushes to Long Aotian's body is just a separate body. At that time, Long Aotian was brewing a big move. Meanwhile, the lock of the seven-ju sword had disappeared. He had no idea that Long Chen had used the separate body. At that time, he instinctively changed his tricks. As a result, after a sword, at the moment when the dragon dust was cut into 2 pieces, he was shocked to feel cheated. Chi! Long Chen's body was cut into 2 parts, while colorful Shenhui was agitated. A crescent-like sword cut across the void, and went straight to kill the powerful people of all ethnic groups. These strong men were originally killed to the Dragon Blood Legion, but they just rushed to the front and didn't wait for their hand. Long Aotian's sword came and killed them unprepared. Puff, puff, puff. The colorful divine light cuts down the void breaks, and countless creatures are cut off by the waist. That scene makes countless strong people inside and outside the challenge arena stunned. This sword, with boundless power, cuts through the crowd and into the boundary of the challenge arena. The terrible sword spirit cuts through the boundary and marks the void outside the challenge arena for hundreds of millions of miles. The power of this sword is terrible, but the wrong target is used. After one sword, the powerful of all ethnic groups are half less in a moment. The strong people of all ethnic groups are frightened, angry, and afraid. Many of them are lucky to survive and do not stand on that line. Only the super strong have the ability to respond and avoid in time, while countless of those who have been killed don't know what happened. They are still looking forward to how to seize more Qiyun runes, and then they are killed in a muddle. Long Aotian, the sword of Long Aotian, makes Lian Wang Yiwuchen, Zhao Xingtian, and many other powerful people bite their teeth. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4258. Long Aotian killed too many people, regardless of race or identity. Even the strong of the undead don't know how many people were killed. Although the undead have a strong vitality, but the sword of Dragon Aotian seems to absorb their vitality in an instant. Long Aotian, you're too early. Don't you mean that you'll turn back at the last minute? In the distance, Mo Nian yells at Long Ao. Ink read this call. All people look at the Dragon Ao days, suddenly in the eyes of a trace of anger and vigilance. Long Aotian is so angry that he is cheated by Long Chen and kills so many people in a single blow. But Mo Nian also buckles the dung basin on his head, which makes him not know how to explain. Death, Long Aotian doesn't explain. With a roar, he holds the seven-ju sword and cuts the dragon dust fiercely. He wants to prove everything with his actions. Boom! Dragon Aotian cuts off with another sword. With a bang, the sword is swung away. On the fist of dragon dust, the scales burst open, and the golden blood overflows. Obviously, this seven-ju sword is different from the purple gold bell. If Long Chen connects it with his bare hands, he will still suffer a loss. However, after this attack, Long Chen became more and more confident. Now he has no fear of immortal magic soldiers. At least the immortal magic soldiers in the hands of the strong people in Fairyland can't cause damage to his mission. Boom boom. Dragon Outyin roars, 7-Ju sword appears all over the sky, cutting madly, the void is constantly torn, the scene is terrible. Long Chen's whole body is full of golden light. The sound of Long Yin resounds through 9 days. With double fists waving, you can fight with him unarmed. The two men's boxing style was fierce, and their sword chi was vertical and horizontal. The vigorous wind and sword chi penetrated out of the challenge arena along the border. The whole Holy King state trembled because of their fierce fight. People were shocked. They finally saw the real arrogant demeanor. The fierce battle between Longchen and Longation completely ignited the battle in the challenge arena. Boom! The shadowless lotus leaves cover the sky, shatter the sky and kill the Dragon Blood army. As a result, they are stopped by a willow tree. Through the willow trees in the sky, the willow branches like swords go through the void and kill Lion Wang. Both Lion Wang and Lai Yurian show their bodies. At that moment, the whole challenge arena seems to be too crowded to hold their bodies. Buzz, the void is twisted. A long sword stabs the unconscious Yu Zifeng silently. Mu Qingyun supports Yu Zifeng. When she finds out, the sword almost touches Yu Zifeng's eyebrow. Dang! Just at the critical moment, a dagger swung away the long sword. Mu Qingyun was so scared that he turned pale and helped Yu Zifeng fly out quickly. Mu Qingyun is surprised, angry, and discouraged. She is also Jianxiu, but she doesn't even notice the killer's approach. She is almost successful. The void trembles and 2 figures appear. It is the Night Princess who stealthily attacks Yu Zifeng with a long sword. The one who blocks her is Dong Minjiu, who is petite and beautiful as an elf. Why not use that black dagger? The Night Princess, like a ghost, quietly appears in the Dragon Blood army camp, but she looks calm. The fight between killers doesn't need to rely on the advantage of weapons. You can't use it to kill you. Dongming Jade Cold Tunnel. After that, Dong Minjiu said to Mu Qingyun, "Don't worry, she is the princess of the Night Clan. She has special blood, and only she can sneak in here. Keep calm and calm." The heart of the sword is clear and not disturbed by foreign things. Dang! When Dong Minjiu finished, she didn't see how her figure moved. At night, the princess' long sword suddenly blocked her. The sword collided with the dagger, and the sparks splashed around. Dong Minjiu's figure slowly disappeared. One is the princess of the Night Killers, and the other is the top assassin of Ingzong. After the collision, the 2 figures disappear. Dang, ding. In the void, Mars splashes. Every time Mars collapses, they are in different directions, but they can't see their figures, or even their weapons. Only when the weapons intersect, can we see the scattered Mars. Kill. When the war broke out, Gu Yang fought Yi Wuchen with a long gun, Guoranzhan with armor, and Zhao Xingtian with a long sword. Xia Chen's Fu and Zhuan were agitated like a flying rainbow, stopping the ghosts. The fierce battle is also fierce over Mo Nian. At this time, Mo Nian puts away his playful face and holds a long bow. In the vision behind him, the divine bow is magnificent, and the ancient pine is swaying, which also breaks out with all his strength. Yen Wuji, opposite him, was holding a halberd. He didn't know when a golden crown appeared on his head. Behind him, the emperor's vision roared and gave him the supreme power. Every blow made heaven and earth tremble. The fierce battle between Mo Nian and Yen Wu shocked countless people, especially those who wanted Mo Nian. They didn't expect that Mo Nian, who was chased by them like a lost dog and had no ability except to run for his life, had such terrible strength to compete with the queen. Seeing this, they were afraid that if Mo Nian didn't run away, but chose to fight with them, their family would be destroyed. But what they can't figure out is why Mo Nianming is so powerful, but he likes to do some things like digging graves. A bird's song rocked the sky. Xiaoyun showed the body of the skylark chasing Yuntan. His colorful wings were surging and his claws were tearing the sky. He was fighting a bloody battle with a Kuanping. That Kuanping is the most arrogant of the Kuanping family. The fighting between 2 Archean birds is fierce, with colorful feathers flying and blood splashing. Tang Weiner's wind blade, like the goddess of storm, blocks the way of the strong of the Tianhu family. One person chooses the strong of the whole Tianhu family. The most arrogant member of the Tianhu clan is actually beaten by Tang Weiner. If it is not for the help of the clan, he is not Tang Weiner's opponent at all. Tang Weiner is fierce. She is the deadliest killer. The girl seems to want to vent her grievances, and these powerful members of the Tianhu family are the targets for her to vent. Yi Zhiqiu, holding the frost sword, is fighting against the strong men of the Xiangure clan. The strong men of the Xiangure clan have amazing defenses. His tortoise shells are even fearless of immortal magic soldiers. However, Yi Ziqiu's ice power makes him afraid and unable to break through Yi Ziqiu's blockade. Boom! In the distance, there was a loud thunder. A purple thunder lizard summoned an endless thunder sea, but it was blocked by a sea of colored fire. Yu Qingxian summoned a rainbow flame, which shocked the audience. Many people have just heard of the rainbow-colored flame ranking 9th in the Sky Fire list, but they have never seen it. When the colorful flame covered the sky and even the thunder could burn, people were shocked. Mengqi is fighting against a group of powerful demons. Her soul power is surging. Her jade hand is fast like lightning. Hundreds of millions of sharp swords form a boundless sword sea. It is changeable and has a huge attack range. No one dares to cross the thunder pool. Are they going to fight against the whole world by themselves? The battle inside the challenge arena. The Terran strongmen outside the challenge arena are shocked, and Long Chen has withstood all the attacks. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4259. There are many powerful people of all ethnic groups, such as Zhao Xingtian, Yi Wuchen, Ghosts, and Princess of the Night. There are dozens of such top-level strongmen, but the Dragon Blood army has resisted such a terrorist attack. How can we not be shocked? In the challenge arena, the swords are shining and the waves are overlapping. The boundary of the whole challenge arena is shaking and seems to explode at any time. Because of the shaking of the challenge arena, the whole Xinguang state keeps going up and down, just like a boat on the sea, which will capsize at any time. It's a world-shaking battle, a battle between the arrogance, a fierce battle on the battlefield, dazzling. The hearts of countless strong people are pulled up, especially in Lingxiao Academy. The hands of Bai Shishi's mother and Bai Shaole's mother can't help shaking. The war is too fierce. At the beginning of the war, there were only Bai Shishir and Chu Yao left in the Dragon Blood army, but after only a few breaths, Bai Shishir had to fight. Because there was a loophole in the defense of the people, a group of strong people in the netherworld killed them. Bai Shishir holds a golden sword, and the golden lotus blooms under her feet. Her fierce sword power directly kills the 3 super strong men. However, there were too many strong men on the other side. Bai Shishir blocked an area and soon fell into a bitter battle. The enemy is powerful and pervasive, and many strong men, like fish in the net, are killed. They are all crazy, looking at the flow of divine light on the strong one here. It is the vision produced by Qiyun rune blessing. That is to say, they haven't been able to absorb Qiyun runes. As long as the Holy King's challenge arena is still there, and as long as they kill each other, Qiyun runes will become ownerless and everyone can fight for them. Puff, puff, puff. More and more strongmen break through the blockade and kill them. The Dragon Blood soldiers fight. As soon as countless strongmen rush over, they are beaten into powder by Dao Dao's sword Qi. More than 2,000 Dragon Blood soldiers set up the first line of defense to select the strong ones. People have seen with their own eyes that some of the top 3 were killed by Dragon Blood soldiers as soon as they rushed over. These 2,000 Dragon Blood soldiers are the most powerful, while those who have just assembled more than 3,000 Dragon Blood soldiers are assigned to the rear, together with those who come to support. Behind the 2,000 Dragon Blood warriors are the elites from Xinghe's sect, Academy and Temple of War God. The targets of the Dragon Blood warriors who have no time to kill are their prey. After they killed them, there were not many fish left, and they were generally relatively weak creatures. The remaining Dragon Blood soldiers and those supporters took action one after another. The war was chaotic and bloody. The situation of the Dragon Blood army was extremely severe because there were too many enemies and they were all desperators. In order to fight for chi and fortune runes, these people are desperate to fight forward. They kill one group and then 3 groups. The more the enemy kills, the more they kill. The front of the Dragon Blood army is constantly tightening, which can provide a buffer. However, when the front is tightened to a certain extent, there is no way to retreat. Without the buffer, it can only be forced. At that time, there will be huge casualties. Everyone is trying their best. The Dragon Blood army is trying their best to reduce the front as slowly as possible. Mengqi, Chuyao, Gaiyang and others are also fighting desperately to reduce the rear pressure as much as possible, so that they can last more time. Time, for the strong on both sides, is fighting desperately. At this time, the whole challenge arena is still shaking, and strange runes appear on the border. Because the bead of Qi Yun was cut by Yu Zifeng, it means that the Holy King competition is over and the challenge arena is about to dissipate. Once the arena dissipates, they can break free from the cage and do not have to fight. And both sides are fighting for time. They are fighting to kill more people before the challenge arena dissipates. Because once the challenge arena dissipates, the Qi luck runes will be completely absorbed. Even if they kill these people, they can only be regarded as venting their anger without any benefit. Time, let all the strong go all out, big moves. At this time on the challenge arena, life is like grass mustard, blood-dyed red challenge arena barriers, the scene shocking. On the edge of the challenge arena, there are still many strong people watching quietly. There are millions of strong people hiding in the corner of the Terran, and the Jiang family disciples are among them. Sister Fengfei, let's do it. Once we join, the battlefield situation will be out of balance immediately. A man with long hair beside Fengfei couldn't help saying. This person is one of the 3 great conceits of the Jiang family, and her strength is still higher than that of Fengfei, but Fengfei has a very special position in the Jiang family. Even though Fengfei ranks last among the 3 great conceits, she is still the leader here. Now the battlefield seems to be evenly matched, but everyone can see that the Dragon Blood army will soon be unable to hold on. If the Jiang family makes a move now, it will immediately break the defense of the Dragon Blood army. If the 3 men fight into the core, they can capture countless Qi runes. Fengfei said faintly, "First, our Jiang family should keep their word, and we can't be dishonest. After all, our Jiang family is not Zhao family. Second, what you see is the appearance. The biggest variable is not in the Dragon Blood army, but in the dragon dust." Long Outyin said before that this guy is good at playing the role of pig and eating tiger. Long Outyin doesn't know how many losses he has suffered. Do you want to eat it? Third, Long Outyin seems to have done his best. In fact, this guy is so bad that he's just waiting for an opportunity. What opportunity are you waiting for? He's waiting for Longchen to do his best. He doesn't dare to fight against Longchen in his heyday. He will really show his tusks when Longchen is weak. Fengfei rode. The disciples of the Jiang family are awe-inspiring. How can they go all out in such a terrible battle? In addition, how do you know that among these onlookers, there are no friends of Longchen? Fengfei looked at the onlookers of other nationalities in the distance and said, "In addition to these, there is also the most important point. Even if we kill those people, we can't kill Longchen. Once Longchen escapes, I can tell you responsibly that our Jiang family is going to end." No, our Jiang family is afraid of a little fairy king? The pride of the Jiang family didn't agree. The horror of Longchen is beyond your imagination. Although I say that, you will be more unconvinced. As a disciple of the Jiang family, I have to risk offending you to tell the truth. Jiang Fengfei looked at the man and sighed. "I don't believe it." Tian Jiao of the Jiang family snorted coldly. As soon as he said this, the strong men of the Jiang family suddenly changed their faces. Just when the Jiang family Tianjiao was ready to join the battlefield, suddenly there was a commotion on the side of the monster family, and then hundreds of thousands of powerful monsters rushed straight to the battlefield. Tianha blood crocodile, golden tooth mammoth, 6-horned bull. The Jiang family Tianjiao's face changed, and he recognized the identity of these monsters. Someone had already moved one step ahead of him. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4260. The Tianhe blood crocodile, the golden tooth mammoth, and the six-horned bull are among the monsters. They are extremely terrifying. Their strength is not much worse than the Xingge, Tianhu, and Kunpeng. But these three races are very cunning, disguised as their own similar races, just like soy sauce makers, and didn't attract people's attention before. Now, they see the opportunity to fly out of the monster family and directly attack the dragon blood army. The most important thing is that they have observed for a long time and know where the defense is weak. They seize a gap between Tang Weiner and Yi Ziqia's defense and rush past in an instant. Tang Weiner and Yi Ziqiu were surprised that the strong men of this team came too suddenly and didn't give them time to react at all. But they can't turn back, because once they turn back, other strong men will come up and the front will shrink rapidly. Give us these guys. At this time, a group of huge figures came out, and it was Manfeng and others. As soon as these barbarian soldiers came out, they rushed directly to the Tianhe blood crocodile, the golden tooth mammoth, and the six-horned bull strongmen. A bunch of damned barbarians, get out of here. A golden tooth mammoth roars and gives out a roaring elephant, which directly calls out the Numenum. Its body, like a mountain, makes heaven and earth tremble. Its four-legged gallop, golden ivory glow, with a roaring sound, pierced the law of the road, straight to the barbarian soldiers' hit. Terrible power of qi and blood. Some people exclaim that the golden tooth mammoth is full of qi and blood, and its prestige is no worse than that of Zhao Xingtian, Yi Wuchen, and others. It has been running all the way, has been ready for a long time, and has formed a terrorist charge. Boom! The void exploded, and the golden tooth mammoth ran to the barbarian strongman in a flash, and then bumped into it in the most savage way. Behind it is the army of Tianhe blood crocodile, golden tooth mammoth, and six-horned bull. Obviously, they don't want to waste time. They want to run through the dragon blood army as fast as they can, just like a nail, disrupting the rhythm of the dragon blood army. Manfeng stopped drinking, and his body grew rapidly. He turned into a giant. He held a white bone battle axe, which was so hard to block the powerful man of the golden tooth mammoth family. Manfeng's muscles are high and bulging, and there are golden lines all over his body. His whole body is full of qi and blood. Boom! With a bang, Manfeng's body was shocked, and his body was pushed back. Boom boom! The barbarian soldiers stood behind Manfeng and turned into giants one after another, pressing on Manfeng's back and resisting together. To everyone's astonishment, the barbarian soldiers used the most stupid way to intercept the golden tooth mammoth family strongmen in the way of human wall. The mammoth strongmen ran wildly against hundreds of barbarian soldiers, but after only a few steps, their speed dropped. Boom! And at this time, a giant crocodile killed, spit out light, straight at the barbarian soldiers. Boom! The barbarian soldiers joined forces to resist. With a bang, the pillar of light burst to pieces. The barbarian soldiers were also shocked to retreat, and the formation became scattered. Dead open, just as the formation of the barbarian soldiers was scattered, a roar came. A firstborn bull with six horns came roaring with boundless qi and blood. The three top monsters and beasts cooperate with each other seamlessly. Obviously, such tacit cooperation can't be run in once or twice. The barbarian soldiers are powerful, but they bear such attacks continuously, and the cooperation between them is very clumsy. When the strong one of the six-horned buffalo comes to kill, only a dozen barbarian soldiers can intercept. These 10 barbarian soldiers could not stop the long-standing strike, but they were not afraid and had already killed them with axes. Boom! The hexagons of the hexagons pierced the void, and the void burst open. More than a dozen barbarian soldiers rolled out and couldn't stop it. But to everyone's horror, the barbarian soldiers were shocked by such a terrible attack. They were very embarrassed, but they were not injured. People are shocked by the terrible flesh of the barbarian soldiers. You should know that the hexagonal bull used its own magic power. The power of the horn is no less than that of the immortal magic weapon, but it can't hurt them. Kill, The strong man of the six-horned bull clan was also shocked, but he didn't have time to entangle with the barbarian soldiers at this time. He yelled and went straight to the dragon blood soldiers to kill them. The defense of the barbarian soldiers is torn open, and the three powerful groups, Tianha blood crocodile, golden tooth mammoth and hexapod bull, keep charging posture, such as lava torrent. In his eyes, the dragon blood warrior in front of him was not a human being at all, but a group of moving Qi-yun runes. He was the first one to kill, and he roared forward at the top of his head. Buzz, as soon as the six-horned bull was killed in front of the dragon blood army, a pair of big hands held its horns tightly. At that moment, the rush of the six-horned bull suddenly stopped. Click. Then the big hands made a great effort, and the horns of the six-horned bull were broken by the big hands. Ah! The powerful man of the six-horned bull clan screamed. He suddenly retreated, and then a huge figure stood up from the dragon blood army. Wang Yun. When the figure stood up, the barbarian soldiers and dragon blood soldiers cheered. The man was no one else, it was Amon. Amon wakes up. Obviously, he just wakes up, holding two horns in his hands. He looks at the situation around him and stays for a long time. Dragon brother, all of a sudden, Amon saw the fierce battle of Long Chen in the distance. His voice was excited, his eyes turned red, and his voice was crying, "Brother Long, I miss you so much." "Good brother, Brother Long also wants you. Now is not the time to speak. First, help us solve the enemy." Seeing that Amon wakes up, Long Chen is so excited that he shouts. Good, Amon was very excited. He turned his head and looked at other places. Suddenly, he cried out excitedly, "Sister Mingqi, Sister Chuyao." "Be careful," Tang Weiner suddenly exclaimed to remind him that the strong man of the six-horned bull clan, who had broken his two horns, was distracted by Amon, and the remaining four horns glowed, for magic lights came straight to Amon. Boom boom, although Tang Weiner reminded him, he didn't know if it was because Amon had just woken up, or if he had been unhappy. The four lights stabbed Amon's chest directly. Four divine lights hit Amon solidly. Amon's body trembled and stepped back. The divine light disappeared. Four charred black spots appeared on his chest. What? The powerful man of the six-horned bull clan was shocked. That blow was his own magic power. It had super terrible lethality. It could only burn the skin of the barbarian, and even the blood could not be seen. It hurts. I'm going to eat you. A man covered his chest and couldn't help but get angry. Suddenly, a huge bone stick came out of his hand. One of the sticks was drawn at the strong man of the six-horned bull clan. Bang! With a bang, the head of the powerful man of the six-horned bull clan was beaten to pieces by a bone stick. P.S. After 3 chapters, I have a pain in my back for a while. After a rest, I'll code another chapter. Sorry, brothers, I can only make it 4 o'clock today. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4261. Tianjiao, a member of the six-horned bull clan, was directly hit on the head with a stick, and his blood splashed. That scene shocked countless people. You know, that's the super strong one in the monster family. He was smashed in the head with a stick. The most amazing thing is that the moment when Amon turned around with a stick, the strong man of the six-horned bull clan seemed to be silly. He didn't know how to hide or defend, so he let the stick hit his head. All of a sudden, Amon grabbed one of the hind legs of the six-horned bull with his big hand and tore it off abruptly. He opened his mouth and bit it off. He bit off a large piece of flesh from his bloody thigh. Well, it's still beef. While gnawing at the leg of the ox, Amon muttered. He took a few mouthfuls and ate up the whole leg of the ox. The most terrible thing was that he didn't vomit any bones. The bones of the six-horned bull clan are carved with runes, which are extremely hard. But in front of Amon, the bones are crunchy, like eating fried crisp fish. After eating the leg of the ox, Amon hung the body of the six-horned bull to his waist. There was a belt around his waist. When you see the appearance of the belt, countless people feel numb. What kind of belt is it? It's a dragon corpse. Before, no one noticed that Amon was sleeping. Now he summoned Wanli Man's body. People could see clearly that what he was wearing around his waist was a dragon corpse. Some people recognized that it was a congenital dragon corpse. And look at its breath, should be just died soon, was skinned off as a belt. Where to escape? With the help of Amon, the powerful of Tianhe blood crocodile, golden tooth mammoth, and hexapod bull race quickly retrogressed. Boom! Amon holds a bone stick and smashes it at the golden tooth mammoth strongman. The former golden tooth mammoth strongman is rushing forward against the barbarian soldiers, but now he is running away. However, Amon's bone stick had been smashed across the void, and the mammoth family's strong man suddenly trembled. His eyes were shocked, and his body was out of control. The golden tooth mammoth family's strong people seem to be locked by some strange force. Their bodies keep shaking and their blood stops running. No! The golden tooth mammoth family screamed in horror, but no one could help him, and Amon's bone stick fell down without hesitation. Poof! With a bang, the golden teeth of the mammoth exploded, the head collapsed by the bone stick, and the body convulsed and could not move any more. Who, with a big claw, Amon grabbed the golden tooth mammoth's nose and said goodbye to him. Two super strong bodies were hanging on his waist. Originally, Amon's body was not much different from that of the golden tooth mammoth and the six-horned bull, but when they were killed by Amon, their bodies shrank a lot, just like a rabbit hanging on the waist of an ordinary person. How could that be? Amon killed two super strong men with two sticks. Everyone inside and outside the challenge arena was shocked. When Amon killed Tianjiao of the six-horned bull clan, he could barely be said to have taken it by surprise. But Amon's fight against the golden tooth mammoth was an open and above-board battle. The golden tooth mammoth was also killed by a stick, and all the creatures were scared. What kind of existence is this barbarian giant? Boom! Amon took several steps, tens of thousands of miles at a time, and went straight after the strong one of Tianhe blood crocodiles. That day, the strong one of the river blood crocodiles was the first to escape. When Amon came after him, his whole body suddenly trembled and his speed suddenly dropped. What? People were shocked when they saw this. Poof! Amon smashed a stick like a pestle of God, smashed the body protecting brilliance of Tianhe blood crocodile, and smashed its head. Another one was killed, and there was no resistance. With the killing of the three top powers, the offensive broke down in an instant. Amon grabbed the long tail of the Tianhe blood crocodile and hung it on his waist. In a few blinks of an eye, all the three super powerful monsters were killed. Yuan Tianjiao, who wanted to fight in the distance, had straight eyes, which made his scalp numb. At the same time, he secretly congratulated himself that he didn't fight. Be careful, the strong one of the demons. This man may be the blood man among the descendants of the legendary man king. If you are targeted by him, you will be suppressed by the barbarian king, your chi and blood will stagnate, your runes will be invalid, and your magical powers will not be able to be exerted. There is the strong one of the demon and beast clan, shouting in horror. Bloodman? Descendants of Man Wang? How is that possible? The Bloodman clan has been extinct for a long time. After the death of the last man king, there will be no Bloodman in the world anymore? Outside the challenge arena, an old man exclaimed. Most of the older generation of strong people have a certain understanding of history, and the history of barbarians is not obscure. The barbarians have tens of thousands of branches. They are one of the strongest races in 9 days and 10 places. The strong barbarians don't need to practice and are born with divine power. As long as they can eat enough, their power can grow almost unlimited. Barbarian strongmen are born fighters, they have invincible strength, invincible defense, can be said to be almost perfect race. The Bloodman clan is the emperor among the barbarians. All the barbarians regard the Bloodman as the king and are loyal. However, in the war hundreds of millions of years ago, all the strong members of the blood barbarians died in the war, while the barbarians had no leader and gradually declined. It is said that although the barbarians are powerful, they also have a fatal weakness, that is, their intelligence is very low and they are very easy to calculate. Without the commander of Shuun, the barbarians were at a loss and didn't know what to do. However, the demons and beasts, who have been hunted by the barbarians, take advantage of the situation to fight back. They are not the opponents of the barbarians, but they use a stratagem to split the barbarians and then defeat them one by one. In the end, there were fewer and fewer strong barbarians, who were killed and fled everywhere. It is said that there were tens of thousands of branches of the barbarians, and only a dozen branches were left, and the rest were extinct. And the rest of these barbarian branches also hid and did not dare to move around in the outside world. But now, with the opening of the king's assembly and the appearance of barbarians, many people have been shocked. Now, the legendary bloody barbarians have appeared again, which people can't believe. Because the barbarians don't know how to practice, and they don't know how to do it, so it's impossible to seal Tianjiao. Moreover, it's said that the strong barbarians can't seal Tianjiao. Once sealed, their bodies will shrivel, lose their vitality, and then die. Sealing is like suicide. It's impossible, someone yelled and couldn't believe it. Shuang, who feeds on all kinds of animals, even Kunpeng and Zhenlong are in their recipes. Therefore, any ancestor who had been eaten by Shuemen would have a deep fear of their soul. And this fear, when attacked by the blood barbarians, will form a similar coercion lock, which is very similar to blood suppression. Some strong people of the human race said with emotion, Amon killed 3 top strong men in a row. Suddenly he saw a huge tortoise in the distance. His eyes were bright and he rushed over with a bone stick. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4262. The strong man of Shengui clan is fighting with Yi Zhiqiu. The endless frost is filled with him. He rushes for countless times and is forced back by Yi Zhiqiu. He is so angry that he keeps roaring. All of a sudden, his whole body was cold, as if he had been watched by a wild beast. He turned his head and saw the drooling barbarian. He was scared out of his wits and ran away. "Stop, let me taste the turtle." Seeing that the strong man of the Shengui clan ran away, Amon was very anxious, shouting and running. Amon has a huge body. He boasts tens of thousands of miles in one step. Every foot falls, and the whole arena trembles. The strong man of the Xian tortoise family felt the fatal threat. His 4 legs trembled. Although his legs were short, his speed was not slow. The powerful people of Shengui family are almost scared to pee. They feel their soul shaking. The reason why they can still run now is that they are far enough away from Amon. Once they are caught up, their intuition tells them that they will die. "Don't run. I won't kill you. Just let me take a bite. I'll see if you are as delicious as my grandfather said." Amon yelled, running and discussing. Boom! All of a sudden, the void burst open and countless vines, like strange boa constrictors, pestered Amon and blocked his way. "Get out of the way." Amon was very angry, and the bone stick in his hand fell on the vines, but the vines didn't bear any force and soon entangled his arm. Bang bang! Amon struggled hard, countless vines were broken, but those vines were endless, more and more. Amon was entangled, angry and kept shouting. That vine is the strong of the undead. They see the weakness of Amon. Hundreds of thousands of the strong of the undead attack Amon at the same time. They don't want to kill Amon, they just want to trap him and prevent him from fighting. The vines entangle Amon and are constantly torn off. Tenacious vines have amazing toughness. The most powerful of the 3 extremes, once entangled, don't want to get away. But Amon can easily break these vines, but there are too many vines, and they have strong vitality, forming a sea of vines which is consumed by Amon. Seeing that Amon was trapped, the strong man of Shengui clan was relieved and killed him again. Amon was placed in the sea of vines. In the face of these soft attacks, he had all his strength, but he couldn't show it. Because of the advantages brought by the barbarian soldiers disappeared in an instant. At this time, they were fighting against the strong of Tianhe blood crocodile, golden tooth mammoth and hexagon bull. The top 3 of the 3 groups were killed by Amon. Now Amon is trapped, and they become crazy again, trying to kill them. Although there were only a few thousand barbarian soldiers, their strength was so strong that they charged several times and were forced back. But at this time, the challenge arena boundary began to become unstable. For a time, countless people's heart all mentioned the throat. Hold on, the challenge arena will collapse. Bai Zhantong clenched his fist, so nervous that his forehead was covered with sweat. As long as the challenge arena collapses, it means that everything is over, and they can support Longchen. But this last moment is the most difficult, because the strong in the challenge arena also found the abnormality of the challenge arena, and their attacks became more crazy. Are you still watching? The challenge arena is about to disappear. If you don't do it again, the Qi luck runes will be absorbed by them. You will never have a chance again. Yi Wuchen roars. Nowadays, there are still many people among the major ethnic groups. On the surface, these people are harmless, but no one knows how many masters are hidden in them. These people have been forbearing and waiting for the opportunity. Before, Tianhe blood crocodile, golden tooth mammoth and six-horned bull were among them. Among these onlookers, I don't know how many of them have been waiting for the opportunity. At this time, the challenge arena trembles, which indicates that the border is unstable and that the Holy King challenge arena is about to disappear. Nowadays, most of the onlookers are ordinary in cultivation, unable to compete for them, and they give up the life of Qi Yun rune. Su Shiner, who has already died, has contributed a lot to the survival of these creatures because she has exposed the sacrifice. These powerful people who should have been cannon fodder have survived. Boom boom. With the roar of Yi Wuchen, one by one figures galloped out from the crowd of spectators of all races. There were only a few hundred of them, from each race. What's shocking is that the moment they rush out, they summon a vision, and the breath bursts out, like the scorching sun approaching the sky, and the divine power is overwhelming. These hundreds of people are all top experts, but they are all alone. As soon as these people appear, the balance on the battlefield is broken. Jiang Feng, what are you doing? On the side of the Terran strongman, Feng Fei yelled. That Jiang Feng, it is before the dragon's blood core to hand, finally failed to hand the Ginger family Tianjiao Jiang Feng. His strength ranked second in the Jiang family, above Feng Fei, but his power was not as big as Feng Fei. He saw so many strong men and rushed out with them. Well, when a woman is in charge of the house, the walls fall down and the house collapses. If you are so careful, you are afraid of the wolf in front and the tiger in back. What can you do? At this time, when should we wait? If you continue to shrink, Jiang Feng will not let go of such an opportunity in vain. Jiang Feng sneers. Asshole, you'll only kill yourself. Feng Fei can't help shouting. I will prove with my actions that women are always short-sighted. Jiang Feng sneer. People have rushed out with others strong, straight to the Dragon Blood Legion. This fool Feng Fei's face was pale with anger, and she was shaking all over. Jiang Jiaqiang, who was beside her, looked at Feng Fei and Jiang Feng, who was flying away. Their eyes were filled with envy. Obviously, they are also very excited. You know, it's a talisman of Qi which can change people's life. But they can only watch it quietly, and they are also suffering. But the rules of the Jiang family are very strict. The master once told her that she would listen to Feng Fei. They don't have the courage to disobey the master's orders. Boom! The battlefield between Longchen and Longation gives a loud bang. Longchen and Longation fight hard. Longation flies out, and the figure of Longchen goes straight to the Dragon Blood army. If you want to save them, dream about it. Long Outyen sneers, treads on the void and goes after him like a shadow. Buzz, suddenly, a flame lotus appears in Longchen's left hand, and he shouts. Then the fire lotus in Longchen's hand smashed at Amon directly. Boom! With a bang, the white flame engulfed Amon and wrapped him with the surrounding vines. The endless vines turned to ashes in an instant. Amon's whole body was covered with white flames, and he bared his teeth in pain. However, apart from the infrared of his skin, he didn't suffer any real damage. Death, out of the predicament of a man, a roar, the bones stick in his hand to the pursuit of Long Outyen smashed in the past, he will be trapped before the anger, all vent to Long Outyen. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4263 Long Out Yin chases Long Chen, but he doesn't expect that the purpose of Long Chen's attack is to help Amon get out of trouble. When he reacts, Amon's bone stick falls. At that moment, Long Out Yin feels that the surrounding space is solidified, and the whole person is squeezed, as if frozen in ice. At that moment, Long Ao Genius understood why those monsters were killed by Amon like a fool. It turns out that at the moment of Amon's attack, the space is frozen, and the vision of Dragon Outyin is compressed to the extreme. Long Outyin is not a monster, and will not be suppressed by the blood of barbarians. However, the power of Amon changed the law of space, and was also extremely oppressed. Kijusha, in the face of a man's stick, Long Outyin does not dare to neglect. On the long sword, the colorful light lights up and cuts down with all his strength. Boom! With a bang, Amon's bone stick was cut out of a big hole, and bone chips were flying. It was obvious that Amon's bone stick was not as good as the immortal magic weapon in the hands of Long Outyin. Amon's big hand split, and there was blood spilling, but Long Outyin was not easy either. He was hit by Amon with a stick, and his blood gushed out in the air. Amon's power is so great that he can destroy the heaven and the earth. It is clearly the most simple physical force, but even the law of space will be affected by him. It seems that he has reached a level that people can't understand. With the help of Amon, Long Chen gets rid of the entanglement of Long Outyin. Behind him, Kunpeng's wings vibrate, and people are like a flash of lightning to kill the top strong. Dragon wags its tail, the dragon dust stops drinking, and the sound of the dragon chants is loud. The scales of the whole body are shining, and one leg is shining like the sun. Boom! At the moment when Long Chen kicks out, the void vibrates, and the shadow of a dragon's tail appears. With Long Chen's long legs sweeping out, it roars away. Long Chen intercepted hundreds of top strong men by himself, and this blow covered all the people. At that moment, these people were surprised and angry, and Long Chen didn't pay attention to them. Boom! Hundreds of strong people have already opened up their visions and kept the strongest fighting posture. The Taoist divine radiance shot out and burst out to kill the dragon dust. The air waves are overlapping, the void is bright and dark, the dragon tail of the dragon dust is broken, and the attack of hundreds of strong men is also gone. What? See dragon dust with one's own strength, blocked everyone, looking at the dragon dust fierce figure, all frightened, dragon dust is too fierce. Choking, as Long Chen kicks out, Ming Hong's sword comes out of its sheath and plunges into the enemy camp. Poof! Ming Hong Dao roars. A powerful demon is cut into two pieces. Puff, puff, puff. Long Chen's long sword was waved, and his hand was like electricity, like a ghost flashing. He killed 17 or 8 strong men in one breath. These strong men, who rush in the front, are the most aggressive, but they are also more resistant to earthquakes. The dragon's tail wagging move of Long Chen is the result of the whole Buddha's strength. Otherwise, it can't crush everyone's attack. These people were shocked so that their qi and blood almost gushed. Although they could not see anything on the surface, they were in a very weak state for the time being. How rich the experience of Long Chen battle is, it can be seen at a glance that many people can't slow down and take their lives directly. Puff, puff, puff. Dragon dust is like a tiger into a sheep. Every time it is cut down, it is bound to take away a top strong man, but there is no one. Dragon dust is invincible. His qi and blood soar to the sky. It's like chopping melons and vegetables to cut the top strong. The strong people on this side of Lingshao Academy are excited. It's the first time for many people to see the appearance of Long Chen's full-scale outburst. There is no power of resistance in front of Long Chen. Kill him together, or no one can afford his revenge in the future. Then there was a roar in the crowd. That roar of person is not others. Just don't listen to Feng Fei's order, by oneself kill out of the Jiang family Tianjiao Jiang Feng. At this time he was surprised, angry, and afraid. He finally saw the horror of Long Chen. After fighting for such a long time, Long Chen not only showed no signs of weakness, but became stronger and stronger. He regretted and was afraid, but at this time, he was already riding a tiger and had to fight to Long Chen. Hearing Jiang Feng's words, Other strong men are awe-inspiring. Long Chen is so terrible. If he only kills the Dragon Blood Army and his confidant, he will surely launch bloody revenge in the future. If they can't kill Long Chen while there are too many people here, once they are escaped by Long Chen, then they can only live in fear. Kill him, other strong men roared with the same idea. They wanted to take advantage of the large number of people and kill Long Chen directly. If there was no chance, they would never lose. Boom! A toad swallowing the sky opened its mouth and spewed out a mass of black fog and went straight to the dragon dust cover. The black fog eroded the sky with a disgusting smell. It was obvious that the black fog was highly toxic. The toad vomited the black fog in order to force the dragon dust away and interrupt his morale. But Long Chen ignored the black fog and went through it directly. When Long Chen was in the black fog, the white flame was added to his body, and there was ice spirit to protect his body. Long Chen was not afraid of these poisons. That swallow day toad didn't expect. Long Chen unexpectedly so where come over, it grow up of mouth haven't had time to close, was Long Chen pop up a fire lotus. The flame lotus blooms like the sun, which is condensed by the fire of the sun. It falls into the mouth of the toad and explodes. Poof! The toad didn't make any response. His body burst in an instant, and the black liquid spread in all directions. All of a sudden, the black liquid is the life poison of the toad. It is extremely poisonous. Even the void can corrode. Some strong people who can't escape are directly drenched in the body. Their magic light of body protection had little effect. The black poison was drenched on the body, and the flesh and blood rotted instantly. A strong man was too close to him and was drenched all over his face. In the scream, he was directly corroded into a pool of rotten water, and died miserably. Puff, puff, puff. Although the other strong men were not so unlucky, they were also drenched. They wanted to cut off the poisoned flesh and blood, but Long Chen didn't give them a chance. Ming Hong cut off more than 10 strongmen. The toad was exploded, which disrupted the rhythm of these strong people and fled one by one to avoid the splash of venom. Jiang Feng was lucky. When he shot, there was a powerful monster beside him. His huge figure became his umbrella. He was not hit by the venom. And the monster around him, under the pain of rapid escape, when the huge figure disappeared, Jiang Feng appeared. Shudder, he saw a pair of cold eyes. Jiang Feng felt numb for a while and turned around to escape. Poof! But just as he turned around, there was a sharp pain in his back, and the huge Ming Hong Dao penetrated his body. At that moment, the strong people of the Jiang family suddenly changed their faces, and a helpless color appeared in Jiang Fengfei's eyes. What she was worried about finally happened. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4264. Seeing that Jiang Feng was pierced by Long Chen's knife, he didn't dare to move. At this time, whether Jiang Feng is alive or dead is all in Long Chen's mind. The faces of Jiang Jiaqiang, including Feng Fei in the challenge arena, changed, and the faces of Jiang Jiaqiang outside the challenge arena became gloomy. Although Jiang Feng did not listen to Feng Fei's command and defy his orders, he was, after all, a member of Jiang's family and one of the top 3 young pride of the younger generation. Jiang Feng was subdued before he made a move to fight against Long Chen. Jiang Feng is one of the 3 most outstanding conceits of the Jiang family, and his strength is still above Feng Fei. In terms of strength alone, although it may not be the opponent of Long Chen, it will not be subdued by one move. Obviously, Jiang Feng was scared out of his wits and did not dare to fight with Long Chen. In fear, he made the worst choice. Even if you run away, you need to be prepared to meet the attack of the other party. What makes Jiang Jiaqiang speechless most is that Jiang Feng gives his back to someone else, which is tantamount to giving his life to someone directly. They can't understand how the arrogance of the Jiang family can act like an idiot and make the Jiang family lose their face. Long Chen, don't kill me. I'm from the Jiang family. Feng Fei is your friend. Jiang Feng was pale and trembled. Long Chen shook his head and said, Feng Fei and I are neither friends nor enemies, because so far, I have not received any help from her, nor owe her any human feelings. So, if you want me to look at her face and let you go, don't think about it. I, Long Chen, always have a clear sense of gratitude and resentment. Others respect me and I respect others. If others want to kill me, I will kill him without hesitation. Didn't you shout so loud before? Let them kill me together, or no one can afford my revenge in the future. Since you have the heart to kill me and the journey to kill me, don't blame me for being cruel. If you kill me, the Jiang family will not let you go. Instead of begging for mercy, Jiang Feng became a threat. The enemies of my dragon dust are all over the 9 days and 10 places, not short of a Jiang family. Poof! As Long Chen's arm shakes, Jiang Feng screams in horror. His body is smashed and Yuan Xin is killed. Looking for death, Long Chen finally killed Jiang Feng, and the strong members of the Jiang family outside the challenge arena were willing to kill each other. Long Chen kills Jiang Feng, which is the biggest provocation to the Jiang family. Jiang Feng is killed for a moment, and Feng Fei sighs. What she didn't want to see finally appeared. When Jiang Feng was killed, the Jiang family would not give up. In this way, I'm afraid the Jiang family will eventually become the enemy of Long Chen. Feng Fei knows Long Chen too well. It's because of her understanding that she feels powerless. She always tries her best to avoid the conflict between the Jiang family and Long Chen, but it still turns out to be like this. When Jiang Feng is killed, even for the sake of face, the Jiang family will settle the account with Long Chen. Although Long Chen killed Jiang Feng because Jiang Feng first attacked Long Chen had a reason to stand up. But reason often needs strength to rely on. If you have strength, that's reason. Without strength, reason is meaningless. There is no reason to practice in the world. Jiang Feng was killed, and the chaos caused by toads swallowing the sky was quickly calmed down, but the bravery of Long Chen made these super strong people panic. Although they have a large number of people, they have a deep fear in the face of Long Chen. They suddenly feel that it seems unrealistic to kill Long Chen. Who? There are strong people who attack the Dragon Blood Army. Obviously, their confidence in killing Long Chen has been shaken, but they think that it is better to kill the weak than to risk their lives to kill Long Chen. They put their target on the Qi Yun rune. As for the revenge of Long Chen, it's the future. Let's get the Qi Yun rune first. One person moves, others follow. They disperse and attack the Dragon Blood Army directly. In this way, Long Chen can't intercept all of them by himself. As for who Long Chen blocks, it depends on who has bad luck. Boom! With a bang, a strong man of the clan was shocked into blood fog by the Dragon Dust's knife. The man was holding a huge shield. It was an immortal magic weapon. Unfortunately, he could not control the immortal magic weapon. The immortal magic weapon was safe, but he was shattered. However, the immortal soldier kept his spirit. He was scared to run away when he lost his body. Poof, Long Chen doesn't care about him either. Behind him, Kunpeng's wings vibrate. His speed reaches the extreme. His figure suddenly catches up with a strong demon. He cuts him down with a knife. The strong demon tries his best to block him, but he is still shattered by Minghong's knife. But after killing the man, Long Chen's heart sank, because he found that there was a peanut-sized gap on Minghong's knife. The demon strongman is holding a magic weapon, which is also an immortal magic weapon. Although the two collided, the demon strongman was shocked to death, but Minghong Dao himself was also injured. Although Minghong Dao has advanced to the level of quasi-immortal magic weapon, it is not really immortal magic weapon. It seems that it has come to an end and can't be advanced again. Minghong Dao's rune is flowing all over the body, and the qi of the Dao is surging to the sky. Although it has broken a gap, it seems to fall into madness, and its fighting spirit is rising. Dragon Dust Heart a pain. This followed him for a long time. The magic weapon has been in the breakthrough, has been in the advanced level, but now to the end, can no longer break through. It's just like a practitioner, when he practices to a certain extent, finds that he is limited by his talent and can't advance anymore. That kind of blow can't be described in words. Buzz Long Chen's wings quiver behind him and catches up with a strong man of the Blood Clan. This time, he doesn't use the Minghong sword. His left dragon claw comes out and grabs the strong man of the Blood Clan. Boom! But what Longchen didn't expect was that Minghong Dao suddenly trembled, and even chopped at the strong one of the Blood Clan by himself. The strong man of the Blood Clan held the bloody spear and blocked the dragon claw of the dragon dust. The dragon claw of the dragon dust was cracked and the blood was flowing. But his whole body was shocked and his blood was surging. Poof! Minghong's knife cuts itself on the head of the strong man of the Blood Clan, directly chopping the head of the strong man of the Blood Clan. Minghong, when Longchen saw this scene, he could not help but feel great pain in his heart. Buzz! Minghong Dao is stained with countless blood. It's roaring. It seems to be saying something to Longchen. Although Minghong Dao has broken a gap, it is full of fighting spirit. It can accept falling into the battlefield, but it can't accept staying ahead. Looking at Minghong Dao, Longchen suddenly thinks of the dragon's evil moon. The original dragon's evil moon is the same. Minghong Dao can't break through. It's pleading with Longchen to let it use its last life to shine the most brilliant light in its life. Boom boom. At this time, those strong men rushed to the Dragon Blood army. Under the cry of Guoran, who had been fighting against the dragon's pride, quickly returned to defend. The defense circle of the Dragon Blood army shrank rapidly. Mengqi, Chuyao, Tang Weiner, Lu Rian and others all retreated and changed attack to defense. At this time, the whole arena is shaking wildly, which means that the arena is about to burst, and now the battlefield has entered the most critical moment. Kaka kaka. At this moment, a crack appeared on the boundary of the challenge arena. When the crack appeared, endless chaotic air poured in from the crack. Ha ha ha. Long Outyin suddenly raised his head and laughed. Finally, it's time for Longchen to fight. Today, let's settle the feud between us. Boom! Long Outyin seems to have changed into a person. In the vision behind him, the sun and the moon flow, and the 5 colors of the divine light instantly merge into one, just like a chaos. In the chaos, the sun and the moon are hazy, which is an unprecedented vision. When this vision comes out, the sacred pressure makes all living beings tremble. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4265. When the chaos of the gas into the border, the dragon Outyin like the dragon to the sea, the tiger into the forest, his breath changed. In the vision, there is chaos, the sun and the moon flow, the endless sacred breath blooms, the vibration around him, colorful ripples, constantly scouring the heaven and earth. The breath of Dragon Outyin has completely changed. At this time, he seems to be the invincible god of war from ancient times, looking down on the ages and the sky. At that moment, everyone was shocked. Even the strong men of the dragon family looked at Long Outyin with a look of horror. They didn't know what had happened. At this time, the breath of Long Outyin suddenly soared dozens of times. When the air of chaos poured in, he instantly merged with the air of chaos. If he didn't know the details of Long Outyin, people even suspected that Long Outyin was the pride of the ancient times. Buzz! The colorful divine light is surging, washing the heaven and earth like the tide, and the whole world seems to vibrate with the wave of the tide. Longchen see? This is the power produced by the fusion of the chi of chaos and the blood of the 7 colors. The 7-color supreme blood is one of the strongest blood vessels in heaven and earth. It combines 7 forces: gold, wood, water, fire, earth, light, and darkness. It's a pity that the aura of heaven and earth is scarce now, and the chaotic chi almost disappears, so the colorful supreme blood can't be activated all the time. Now, the gate of the alien world is opened, the chaotic chi is pouring in, and the colorful supreme blood is finally awakened. Do you understand now? I'm not afraid of you, but I've been waiting for this opportunity. I want to crush you with the strongest posture. Boom! When Long Outyin finished speaking, the sword shook and a colorful sword penetrated the sky. Even when the challenge arena was closed, Long Outyin made a hole. At that moment, countless people exclaimed that Long Outyin had the power to destroy the boundary of the challenge arena. How strong was he? The sword pierced the sky and shocked countless strong men. A smug smile appeared on Long Aotian's face. How's it going? Is it full of reluctance? Full of anger? This colorful blood is originally yours. Unfortunately, it's too wasted on you. Only in my hands can it shine brilliantly. What? Countless strong exclaimed. They can't believe their ears. They also look at the dragon dust. The original owner of the colorful blood is dragon dust? Isn't that to say that the colorful supreme blood of Long Outyin is drawn from Long Qin? At that moment, the strong people of Lingxiao Academy and those familiar with Long Qin looked at Long Qin in disbelief. For the disciples of the academy and the strong people of Xinghe sect, Long Qin is the god of war in their heart. But they didn't expect that the colorful blood on Long Aotian's body was captured from the dragon dust. At this time, they were surprised, angry, and heartache. But you don't have to be angry. The colorful supreme blood on you is just a shot in the dark. So, my parents had foresight. When you were born, they dug out your spiritual blood, roots and bones and planted them in my body. Now you can see how wise their actions are. These treasures can only be carried forward in my dragon Outyin. Long Outyin looks at the dragon dust light tunnel. At this time, he didn't seem to be in a hurry to kill Longchen. Instead, he talked with Longchen with a condescending attitude. So vicious, even Bai Shishi's mother can't listen. Long Aotian's parents are so vicious that they even attack a newborn baby. Are they animals? I didn't expect that Longchen was so unfortunate in his childhood. Bai Shaole's mother can't help sighing. Looking at Long Chen's back, she finds that behind Long Chen's strength, there are bitter tears. He had to be strong. If he wasn't strong enough, he couldn't live to this day. His strength was forced out. In the face of Long Aotian's provocation, Long Chen doesn't say a word. Instead, he looks at the Minghong sword in his hand, as if he can't hear Long Aotian's words. Long Outyin continued, "Do you know? In order to perfectly activate your spirit blood, how much effort did the dragon family pay? Nearly half of the resources that the dragon family has accumulated for hundreds of millions of years have been spent on me. Only then can I activate the spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone. It's just activation. The chaotic chi needed to wake them up is unimaginable. And the opening of the door of the alien world is the chi for the strong rise of our dragon Outyin. From today on, no one in 9 days and 10 places will be able to compete with our dragon Outyin anymore, and 10,000 families will give us priority." Long Aotian's voice reverberates between heaven and earth. His voice is arrogant and overbearing. It's uncomfortable to listen to. However, there are endless echoes between heaven and earth. The whole world is echoing his voice. It seems that he is the master of this world, and no one can compete with him. Yellow-mouthed children, dare to speak wild, the human race is too arrogant. Forget for a long time, the human race can only be reduced to slaves and blood food? Seeing that Long Outyin is arrogant and domineering, he talks wildly and wants to lead thousands of people, which makes countless creatures angry. However, he can only talk about it. Today, Long Outyin is full of chaos, colorful lights, and the breath of terror. It's still thrilling through the border. At this time, Long Outyin is too strong. Long Chen, you have such a good talent, you can only waste it. How do you want to die? In consideration of your contribution to me, I can let you choose a way to die. Holding the 7-Ju sword, Long Outyin points to the cold tunnel of Longchen. While Long Outyin was talking to himself, he was looking at Minghong Dao in his hand. In his eyes, he was full of endless sadness. Minghong Dao keeps shaking, and its solemn and stirring breath is twining. It is begging Longchen. Longchen looks at Minghong Dao, and his heart is as painful as a knife. Are you giving up? If you don't know what's good and what's bad, they'll save your life and kill all your confidants first. A ferocious smile appeared on Long Aotian's face. 7-Ju sword in his hand blooms 7 colors divine light. His eyes stare at Mingqi for a moment, and fierce killing intention emerges in his eyes. Long Chen's forehead is full of veins. He holds the handle of Minghong's sword tightly, and the scabbard of Minghong's sword behind Long Chen bursts into pieces. The scabbard burst, and endless runes poured into the Minghong sword. All the runes on the body of Minghong's sword lit up, and the fury of war, like a volcanic eruption, went straight into the sky. The scabbard of Ming Hongdao has always been the foundation of Ming Hongdao's advancement. Now the scabbard is broken, and the bottleneck that Ming Hongdao has been unable to break through is suddenly broken. Boom! The sword roars in the sky, and the immortal breath is surging. At last, Ming Hongdao is among the immortal magic weapons. Its breath is violent and solemn. Long Chen's body shape is like electricity, crossing thousands of miles, blocking Long Aotian's way. Buzz, the long sword of Long Chen points to the sky, and the heaven and the earth vibrate. One person and one knife are powerful and powerful. Boom! I saw the sword in Long Chen's hand whistling and falling. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4266. At that moment, Long Chen and Ming Hongdao felt connected by blood. When Ming Hongdao successfully advanced to the immortal magic weapon, the fierce dragon power in his body finally found a vent, and the dragon power surged out. The mantis arm blocks the car, Long Outyin sneers, his whole body is full of colorful divine brilliance, and his Qi-Ju sword is cut down with endless divine brilliance. Boom! The sword Qi and the shadow of the sword cut each other, just like two meteors colliding together. The huge sound of explosion made the whole world lose its color. Boom! The air waves rolled and hit the border like a tsunami, and the whole challenge arena began to deform. The strong in the challenge arena were hit by meteorites, and countless people with weak accomplishments were directly shocked into blood. The two men's attack had a huge impact on the whole battlefield. The powerful impact made countless people unstable and feel extremely uncomfortable. On the void, Long Chen and Longation look at each other. Long Chen's Minghong sword points to Longation, and the endless fighting spirit rises. The fighting spirit is not only Long Chen's, but also Minghong's. Ming Hongdao explodes its scabbard by itself and successfully advances to the immortal warrior. However, it is a kind of self-mutilation. When its runes are exhausted, it will completely fall, and there will be no more Ming Hong in the world. This is the choice of Ming Hongdao, which can't be changed by Long Chen. Ming Hongdao fought with Long Chen all the way. They were the closest partners and trusted comrades in arms. After numerous efforts, Ming Hongdao finally saw the reality, that is, quasi-artifact is his limit, and it can never advance to immortal magic weapon, that is its destiny. In the arena war, Long Chen has been fighting the enemy empty-handed, because Long Chen knows that if he sends out the Ming Hongdao to fight against the immortal magic weapon, the Ming Hongdao will be in danger of breaking. But Ming Hongdao has its own dignity and pride. It can't accept being hidden in the snow. It would rather die in battle. When it was broken, Ming Hongdao finally knew the gap between himself and immortal magic weapon, but it had no fear. On the contrary, it inspired its endless fighting spirit. It begged Long Chen to let it bloom its glory for the last time and leave with dignity. Now it has been promoted to immortal. The surging dragon power of Long Chen rushes into its body and directly shakes the seven-ju sword of Longation. Ming Hongdao is booming and shaking. It's excited, it's cheering, and its endless fighting will is rising. Long Outyin looked at Long Chen coldly, and his mouth gradually showed a trace of sarcasm. You are sacrificing your own sword to improve your fighting power. Long Chen, it seems that you are really poor. Buzz, Long Chen doesn't speak, and Ming Hong's sword is raised again. Ming Hong's knife cuts 3 times in a row. Strangely enough, every knife is cut in the air. There is no strong wind, no rolling air. But with each cut of Long Chen's sword, the momentum above Ming Hong's sword is superimposed. Others look strange, but Longoshan's face changes. Buzz, the chaotic vision behind the dragon Outyin trembles. The sun and the moon suddenly appear on the seven-ju sword in his hand, and the sword suddenly gives out an earth-shaking roar. Long Outyin stops drinking. Qi-Ju's sword carries endless divine brilliance and cuts at Long Chen fiercely. He sees through Long Chen's intention. Long Chen is performing superposition. Each sword carries the power of the previous one. If the power is allowed to be superimposed, no one knows what degree it will reach. The fourth style of Kaitian, Long Outyin takes the lead, but Long Chen can't continue to stack. Minghong's sword suddenly cuts out. When Minghong's sword cuts out, four shadows suddenly appear between heaven and earth. The shadow of the four swords merged into one at the moment when the last knife was cut. The roar of heaven and earth disappeared in an instant when the four swords merged into one. Supreme Seven Ju Chop, Dragon Aotion a cold drink, cut out the moment of this blow. The vision behind him suddenly dimmed down. The power of vision seems to be drained by this sword. Boom! This is a world-shaking collision. When two magic soldiers are cut together, the whole world suddenly loses its color. No matter inside or outside the challenge arena, everyone can't see anything. Then, in front of people's eyes appeared a gray. In the gray world, there is a light spot emerged. The light spot is just the center of the collision between Minghong's sword and Chijua's sword. The light spot expands rapidly, and the light like a sword penetrates the boundary of the challenge arena and radiates out of the challenge arena. What? People exclaimed, did not expect two people's attack, even extended to the challenge arena. Countless strong have blocked. Boom boom. The strong people outside the challenge arena were embarrassed to resist. As a result, some weak people were directly killed by the terrible light, and the whole scene was in chaos. Boom, there were two explosions in the challenge arena, and Long Chen and Long Outyin were killed by each other at the same time, hitting the border on both sides of the challenge arena. The boundary behind them trembles and cracks in a large area. At this time, the boundary of the challenge arena is full of holes and seems to burst at any time. Those terrible lightsabers flew out of the cracks in these arena. Now after a collision between two people, there are more cracks. Long Chen and Long Outyin are on the border at the same time. They are like a meteor, rushing towards each other again. My God, such a terrible impact, they were not hurt at all. People were shocked. Many people thought that after their attack, they were basically in the middle of disuse. They didn't expect that they would kill each other again just like nobody else. Death, both of them stopped drinking almost at the same time, and their whole strength was concentrated on the magic soldiers in their hands. This was a rough collision without any tricks, and it was also the easiest contest to distinguish the superior from the inferior. Boom boom. The two men cut and hit madly, and their figures changed. They were like ghosts startling Hong. Their swords and swords came and went, and they were killing each other. Boom, a shadow of the sword rushes out and hits the gap of the border. Through the gap, it goes straight to the Terran camp. The pen hits the purple blood Su family. Su Jiaqiang yelled angrily. A congenital god, holding a magic weapon, chopped down the shadow of the sword. As a result, the Su family's god gushed blood and was seriously injured. The strong spectators were shocked. The sword of Longchen is a breath reflected from the block of Langao Tiange. Most of their strength has been removed, and they can hurt the inborn Tianzuan-level strong people seriously. This power is too terrible. Boom, it's another shocking collision. Long Outyin and Long Chen step back at the same time. The two magic soldiers point at each other, and their eyes are as electric as a cheetah's. Their breath is finally beginning to drop. Someone exclaimed, Long Chen and Long Outyin fought hard for thousands of rounds, and finally began to gasp. No strength? Is it too early? The battle hasn't really started yet. Long Outyin sneers, and suddenly he stops drinking. Purple blood fills the sky. At that moment, the eyes of the strong men of the Su family would protrude. It's impossible. www. Novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4267. When the boundless purple air blooms behind the dragon Outyin, the eyes of the strong men of the purple blood Su family will protrude. Purple lingering, heaven and earth shaking together, 10,000 Tao respecting together, noble color and breath appear. The whole world trembles because of its appearance. The law of heaven worships him. When the purple air surges behind the dragon Outyin, the purple divine light extends to the outside of Shengwang state through the border. The endless purple air covers the sky and envelopes the whole Shengwang state. No one has ever seen such a grand vision. In the endless purple chi, there are 10,000 ways of harmony and 10,000 methods. How can it be? How could he have the power of purple blood and be so pure? The father of the Su family yelled with a look of surprise and anger. Purple blood, one of the strongest blood in 9 days and 10 places, is different from the 7-color supreme blood. Purple blood can't be produced by itself and must be inherited by blood. That is to say, the 7-color supreme blood is a kind of heaven and earth anomaly, which is randomly generated, but the purple blood has its origin, so it can't appear casually. Because of this, the color of fear appeared in the eyes of Zu's ancestors. He rebelled against purple blood. Now Long Outyin shows such terrible power of purple blood, how can he not be afraid? Long Aotian's purple blood fluctuates, pure and incomparable. Compared with it, they are far from each other. There is no comparability between them. At this time, Su Jiaqiang finally understood why when Su Yifeng was fighting against Longchen, Long Outyin said that Su Yifeng was not qualified to represent purple blood. Now they finally understand that the dragon pride genius is the strong one of purple blood. The vast purple chi covers the sky and also covers the heart. Countless creatures look up at the purple chi and feel shocked. Longchen, your breath has begun to decline. It seems that I overestimate you. This time, you will surely die. The chaotic vision behind the dragon Outyin is still there, and behind the chaotic vision is the boundless purple sea. When the boundless purple sea appeared, the breath of dragon Outyin, which had begun to lack, suddenly became full. See? This is the activated purple chi. If heaven and earth do not die out, my power will be endless. I am heaven. How do you fight with heaven? The dragon is proud of the coldness of the sky, and the world is full of his echoes. How do you fight against heaven? How do you fight against heaven? How do you fight against heaven? Endless echoes, such as the decree of the God of heaven, spread to every corner of the world, but also straight into the depths of human soul. Countless people feel sharp pain in their soul. Although it is just a simple cold drink, it is just like a strong soul shock. People with weak will be crushed directly. What about heaven? I Longchen always go against the sky, how ever afraid. If you think you are heaven, why are you afraid of me? The fierce battle is still in reserve. What are you afraid of? Longchen Cold Tunnel. They'll be afraid of you? You fart. Long Aotian's face is distorted, and his arrogance and calmness disappear in an instant. His face is full of ferocity. Long Chen's words hit his biggest weakness in his heart. He was really afraid of Long Chen. He thought he didn't dare to fail again, so he was still careful until now. Endless power, but cannot bring him absolute sense of security, even if powerful as he is now, still dare not have the slightest carelessness. Whether it's colorful blood or purple blood, her master is me, not you. Although your parents took it from me by despicable means, some things have to be returned to their original owners. What belongs to me, I will take it back with my own hands eventually, and I will make you realize what it's like to be a waste after being taken away from you. Long Chenming and Hong Dao point to Long Outyin, and the murderous opportunity surges in their eyes. What? Is this purple blood also from dragon dust? What is the origin of Longchen? How can you have two such terrible blood at the same time? It's horrible. The most terrifying thing is that he has lost everything and can still have such terrifying strength. If he is allowed to take back what belongs to him. The strong people on the scene, hearing the dialogue between Long Chen and Long Outyin, all fell into a dullness. In this war, they seem to have used up all the shock expressions of their whole life. Today, Long Chen has shocked them so much that they are almost numb. Don't talk too much nonsense. They'll let you die here today. Dragon Outyin steps on the void and rushes to the dragon dust. Every step he takes, the void under his feet ripples. With the coming of homicide, the void is changing for hundreds of millions of miles, and the endless purple chi is surging like a pot. You can see the flow of thousands of runes and the rapid gathering of them to the sky. Seeing this scene, countless strong people were shocked. What Long Outyin said was right. At this time, he was heaven, the Lord of heaven and earth, the obedience of 10,000 Taoist officials, and what Long Chen had to bear was not only the power of Long Outyin, but also the endless power of the law of heaven. Buzz, behind the dragon dust, the endless stars light up and the sea of stars emerges, just like a cosmic blessing behind him. What? When they see the endless sea of stars, even the well-informed and the most powerful are shocked. They have never seen such a vision. Although some people say that the Xinghe heaven formula of Xinghe sect, practiced to the highest level, can arouse the Xinghe vision, it is only a legend, which has never been seen, let alone recorded in literature. But in fact, the vision of Longchen is Xinghe, not Xinghe. However, the strong people in the outside world can't distinguish them, let alone the disciples of Xinghe sect. Leading stars into the body, dragon dust a break to drink, the whole body 18,000 dragon scale light up, each dragon scale above, there is a star emerge. At the same time, in the sea of stars behind the dragon dust, 18,000 stars in different directions are flashing rapidly. From a distance, they form a strange array. Buzz, Longchen's whole body is shining with stars, just like wearing a Star War armor. On the Minghong sword in Longchen's hand, the stars are dotted with stars. Death, dragon dust and dragon outyin roar at the same time. Two magic weapons roar, one with endless laws of heaven, the other with endless power of stars. Boom! In the eyes of all the people, the two magic weapons collided, and the sword chi collided with the shadow of the sword, making a startling sound. Different from the past, the two forces did not offset each other. Instead, after colliding, they fell down and gathered together. Boom! Two magic soldiers cut the boundary of the challenge arena, and the sword chi and sword shadow cut off outside the challenge arena. Countless strong people ran away in terror. In the eyes of countless horror, the two magic weapons split the whole challenge arena into two parts, and cut a deep gap in the Holy King state outside the challenge arena. This blow has gone beyond the scope of people's understanding. Even the inborn heaven-level strongmen are pale with fright. This blow is irresistible. Who can stop it will die. Boom! At this time, Long Outyin and Long Qin roared at the same time, cutting each other again. Again, some people exclaimed that this time it was not a vertical cut, but an oblique cut. The violent force once again tore up the boundary of the challenge arena, and went straight to the buildings outside the challenge arena. One of the swords came straight to Lingshao Academy. The strong men of Lingshao Academy were shocked. Bai Shaole's mother was about to make a seal with her hands. Suddenly, the lord of the temple clapped it with one hand, and the sword of Long Outyin was smashed by the lord's hand. Buzz, the shadow of the sword shot by Longchen is directed at a group of strong people. One of the strong people is wearing a yellow robe and a golden crown. Facing the shadow of the sword shot by Longchen, he doesn't dodge. In the eyes of countless people, the shadow of Longchen's sword cuts heavily on the man's head. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4268, Boom! Among the exclamations of countless people, there was a bang, and the shadow of Dragon Dust's sword burst to pieces. The old man in yellow robe was not hurt at all, and even his eyelids didn't blink. What? Countless people looked at the old man in yellow robe in horror. You should know that the power of Longchen and Longation is enough to kill any congenital heaven easily. And this person did nothing, let the sword shadow of Longchen cut on him, but he could smash the terrible attack. You know, before the lord of the temple slapped the sword chi of breaking the dragon Outyin, countless people were shocked, and the behavior of the old man in yellow robe was even more shocking. There is no way for the master of Dayan. The older generation of strong exclaimed and recognized the identity of the old man. Yan Wudao? Yan Wuji? Are they brothers, some people wonder? No, they are not of the same generation. Yan Wuji is a sealed genius and belongs to the ancients. And Yan Wudao is the contemporary master of Dayan. There is a wordless character between them, because in the inheritance of Dayan, wordless characters appear every 36 generations. There is humanity. Lord, it seems that he is coming for you. Bai Zhantong looks at Yan Wudao in the distance with a dignified look in his eyes. This is a terrible existence. The lord of the temple had no expression on his face, but he just took a light look at Yen Wudao and didn't speak. Boom, just when people were shocked by Yen Wudao's amazing performance, suddenly the challenge arena exploded again. Long Chen and Long Outyin fought 18 swords in a row. The whole boundary of the challenge arena had been broken, and it seemed that it would burst at any time. However, the boundary of the challenge arena has never disappeared, and it is extremely strong. With a fierce battle between Long Chen and Long Outyin, the fierce air swept the whole challenge arena, and countless strong men shivered in the corner for fear of being swept by the aftershocks. The formation on the other side of the Dragon Blood Army has been completely contracted. Mengqi, Chuyao, Tang Weiner, Yijiqiu, Guoran, Xiachen, Gu Yang and other strong men guard the periphery, forming an absolute defense. Lianwang Yuchen, Zheok Xingshan and other strong men attack madly, but they have too many experts to break the defense. The most terrible thing is that there is a terrible giant outside the Dragon Blood Army, that is, Amun, who holds a bone stick and sweeps a large area. Those monsters, and even the strong undead who were killed by him would be eaten by him as long as they were not human beings. After such a long time of fierce fighting, Aman not only showed no sign of weakness, but even fought bravely and fought back and forth among the enemy. No one could resist him, so he had to dodge one after another. Amon's defense is amazing. Even if he is an immortal weapon, he can only pierce his skin, but can't hurt his muscles and bones. Ordinary weapons can't even scratch him. But those attacks are useless to Amon. Amon, an unreasonable guy, rushes back and forth to make trouble. Lian Wuing and others can't concentrate on attacking. Sometimes even just created a loophole, ready to attack. Amon killed them, destroyed their attack. Lian Wuing and others are mad. Amon is not so smart. On the battlefield, he doesn't know any loopholes at all, but he has a huge advantage, that is, he is obedient. He will fight wherever Guoran points out. Amon moves around on the battlefield like a man in the middle of nowhere. The strong undead who can obstruct Amon are basically killed by Longchen. Now, no one can defeat Amon on the battlefield. Even for the attack of Lian Wuing, An can tear the lotus leaves with his bare hands. Even the torn lotus leaves can be directly used to wrap the flesh and blood and eat them as pancakes. Lian Wuing is almost mad. There is a fierce battle between Long Outyin and Long Chen. The border is going to explode at any time. They don't want to waste their precious time on this big fool. They are still attacking desperately. In the other battlefield, the situation is also fierce. Mo Nian holds a long bow and fights Yen Wuji fiercely. They are difficult to solve. Compared with Long Chen and Long Outyin, their battlefield is very narrow. What they fight is body method, skill, move and speed. They fight fiercely, but they can see thousands of shadows. They can't see their actions clearly. Their fierce fight is the most dangerous, and they can tell the difference between life and death at any time. However, such a fierce battle, if two people are equally matched, will fall into a protracted battle. Such a fierce battle is not particularly costly and will be very protracted. Boom, it's another big bang. Long Chen and Long Outyin fight hard again. The fury sweeps the whole challenge arena again. Today's challenge arena border is like a broken cobweb, countless pieces of border, drooping listlessly, but it is not broken. In the challenge arena, countless strong people want to escape, but when they break through the border, they will still be killed by the law of the border. Even the Supreme Three are not immune. Although the border seems to have been dying, powerless, but still has the power of terror, insurmountable. Jiang Fengfei is leading the strong men of the Jiang family, who are struggling to support. They need to pay attention to the attack of Longchen and Longacian and make predictions in advance. She can easily avoid such aftereffects, but other Jiang family disciples can't. If she escapes, Jiang family disciples will be killed, and she will also bear huge responsibility. At this time, the disciples of the Jiang family would never complain about Fengfei, especially those who had the same idea with Jiang Feng. At this time, they realized how stupid their idea was. Fengfei is smart enough to keep the Jiang family's disciples still. If a strong terrorist like Long Chen kills him, it's okay. If he can't, he will grow up in the future and the Jiang family will be finished. They were secretly congratulating themselves, but they were also gloating. The strong men of the immortal families, such as the Zhao family, the Yi family and the Long family, all took part in the attack on the Dragon Blood army. Now they have countless deaths and injuries, but Mao's benefits have not been achieved, and they have completely offended Long Chen. Needless to say, in the future, Long Chen will have fun with them. Although the disciples of the Jiang family also didn't get anything, no one died except Jiang Feng. Among these forces, they are the luckiest. However, this kind of luck will disappear at any time. If they want to keep lucky, they must make sure that everyone is alive and not be swept away by the attack of Longchen and Longation. It can be said that they are the people who take Longchen and Longation seriously. After all, it is related to whether they can see the sun tomorrow. Ooh, suddenly Long Chen and Long Outyin retreat at the same time. They stare at each other coldly. At that moment, the whole world seems to be still. I know you have something to keep. Long Outyin Cold Tunnel. I know you have reservations too. Long Chen responded. Are you afraid? There is a touch of irony on Long Aotian's face. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4269. I'm really afraid of such a complicated battlefield and so many enemies. I'm afraid that I can't protect them, so I want to keep every part of my strength and not waste it. What about you? What are you afraid of? You're afraid you can't beat me? So you're still waiting for a chance, waiting for someone else to come and help you? It seems that the border won't break for a while. You can't expect it to break. The strong people from the outside will rush on, and you will pick up the cheap. And in the border, those guys will only stare at Qiyun runes, and you can't count on them either. Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. Long Chen and Long Outyin have fought each other for countless times. It can be said that they are the most familiar enemies. Therefore, it is very difficult for them to take advantage of each other when they fight. If no one else participates in the battle, they will ultimately rely on their absolute strength to win. Long Aotian's card didn't come out, and so did Long Chen, except that they had different purposes. You are wrong. Long Outyin Cold Tunnel. What's wrong? Long Chen asked. You are wrong because you are too confident. Do you think I keep my cards because I am waiting for an opportunity? Let me tell you, I didn't do my best because I couldn't do my best before. Aren't you surprised? I got blood, root and bone from you, but from the beginning till now, I only used the power of blood? The dragon is proud of heaven. If I guess correctly, you need to rely on the chaos in that door to activate them step by step. At the beginning, the chi of chaos is only enough to activate the colorful supreme blood, so you can only use the colorful supreme blood, and then activate the purple blood, you use the purple blood. Now that a long time has passed, after the spirit root and spirit bone have absorbed so much chaotic chi, they should also be able to activate. Isn't that what you're waiting for? Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. You know that? Long Aotian's face was startled. At that moment, Long Ao was born with a bad feeling. Long Chen seems to have seen through everything. No way, you must have guessed it. Long Outyin angrily shouts away, he's some flustered. You think so? Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. If you really know it, you will burst out and kill me before I activate them. Long Outyin said in a loud voice. If I kill you at that time, the spiritual roots and bones will not be activated and awakened. If I take them back when they are not awakened, I will only lose their spirituality. I will not do such a stupid thing. Dragon Dust Light Way. Hearing the dialogue between Long Chen and Long Outyin, people were shocked at the beginning that they had a card to this extent. Now they are even more shocked at the purpose of Long Chen. Long Chen wants to take back his spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone in a planned way. He is so confident. Nonsense, you don't think so much. You're pretending to be calm to hide your fear. Long Outyin roars. Suddenly his arms are open and thunder explodes in the elixir field, followed by the crackling of his bones. A divine light slowly lights up on his chest. Oh my God, I just remember that he's not the Supreme One yet. Seeing this scene, some people exclaimed that they were shocked by the power of Long Outyen before, but they forgot that Long Outyen did not carry out the triple fusion. Boom! Dragon Aoshan's spirit root, spirit blood and spirit bone are fused in an instant, and the purple chi and chaotic vision behind him are distorted in an instant, finally forming a huge colorful flower. The flower is in 3 petals. When it flows, it is silent, but with its flow, it stirs the heaven and the earth, and all the ways are roaring. You can see that in the void, there are endless light groups around the dragon Outyen, and it seems to worship him. 3 flowers pass through the sky, and all the Dharmas worship each other. This is the true supreme of the 3 poles. If it doesn't fall, it will win the throne in the future. Some people see the vision of Dragon Outyen and can't help shouting excitedly. When the 3 poles are fused, all the 3 extremely powerful people cannot present the image of worship. This vision of Dragon Aotion is the legendary 3 flowers connecting the sky. The strong men of the dragon family roar excitedly, which means that there will be an emperor in the future. The emperor, is the supreme existence. When the emperor comes, all ethnic groups will submit, and the dragon family will stand on top of all ethnic groups. The strong of other races are full of jealousy while they are shocked. Their eyes are full of killing intention. They absolutely don't allow the human race to have the talent of emperor level. Long Outyen is entangled by divine light, worshipped by laws, and wrapped by thousands of ways. At this time, he is like an emperor, sacred and inviolable. Buzz, all of a sudden, Long Aoshan's sword stabs at the dragon dust. It almost moves. A sword light comes out through the long sword, and 10,000 principles are completely absorbed by this sword. Boom! The sword light flew by close to Long Chen's cheek, and then people saw a black passage, which stretched out and could not see the end. After the light of the sword, a long and thin black passage stays in the void all the time. In the black passage, endless runes are flowing, emitting terrible fluctuations. People are shocked by this strike. The power of this sword has been attached with the power of the law of terror, which is beyond the understanding of countless people. This sword cannot be described by simple power. See? This is my real strength. If my sword moves half a foot, you are dead. Long Outyen's sword points at Long Chen, with incomparable confidence in his eyes. At this time, Long Outyen felt endless power flowing in his body, and the whole person was integrated with heaven and earth. At that moment, he was no longer afraid, no longer angry, and full of confidence. A sword breaks through the sky, and the ghosts cry. This sword frightens everyone. This power is frightening. If I deviate half a foot, I'll avoid it. You know you can't lock me, so I pretend to be arrogant. Arrogance is due to lack of self-confidence. It can only prove that no matter how powerful the power is, it can't erase your inner fear. Dragon Dust Light Tunnel. People just realized why Long Chen didn't move just now. He didn't even blink his eyes. His feelings have seen through Long Aoshan's mind. But even so, people also admire the courage of Long Chen. Once such an attack is involved, even if there are 10,000 lives, Long Chen is too confident. You fart, you damned bastard. A word from Long Chen suddenly pulls Long Outyen down from the high throne. His face is twisted, and the 3 flowers behind him vibrate. He cuts off the dragon with a sword. Your mouth stinks. Your parents died early, and no one will discipline you? Steal other people's things, still so arrogant? Today, I want you to pay with your blood. Long Chen's eyes are sharp, his black robe is waving, his long hair is flying, and his violent power is surging out. 7-star battle body, open. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4270 Boom. The fierce wind rises from the foot of Long Chen and rushes into the sky. A pillar of light rushes into the sky. The violent power spreads in all directions. Kaka kaka. The void crackles. The terrible wind cuts the space like a blade. The void is torn and a ripple spreads rapidly. No, defend with all your strength. Feng Fei exclaimed, It's an undifferentiated attack, and she can't hide it at all. At her call, all the top strong members of the Jiang family rush in the front and work together to support a huge shield. So did the other aggressors, one after another opening their defenses to meet the fierce wind. Boom! Huge ripples swept across the battlefield, across the border, across the sea, directly and rudely toward the city of the holy state. Boom! When the terrible ripples hit the building, the endless building collapsed, and the strong wind wrapped the gravel and rolled it in all directions. What a force is that! There is an inborn Tianzuan-level strong man who tries his best to open the shield, but his blood is still surging. It seems that the whole person is about to explode, and his eyes are full of fear. Buzz! Endless waves of air, wave after wave, constantly scouring the world. The boundary of the challenge arena has disappeared, but there is an invisible law, which separates the challenge arena from the outside world. Chi-Chi. Holding a long sword, Long Outyin makes a strange noise when his feet pass through the void. His eyes are full of surprise and anger. He is pushed back by the waves of dragon dust. When the strong wind stops and the waves subside, people can see that the 7 colors of the god ring behind the dragon dust flow, and the sea of stars no longer surging, but in the sea of stars, the 7 stars light up like the sun. The holy and magnificent light shines on the body of Longchen, just like the divine radiance of the 7 suns, which are all concentrated on the body of Longchen. People can't see the appearance of Longchen clearly, because it's too dazzling, but seeing a figure tightly can make people's soul tremble, and the heart of awe rises from the depth of the soul. The dragon dust is like the emperor of heaven, overlooking all living beings, standing on the world of mortals. That unique style cannot be described in words. Buzz, the Minghong sword in Longchen's hand is raised high. The sword is thundering. The fury of the battle goes straight to Juten. The Minghong sword is howling and roaring excitedly. Buzz, buzz. On the Minghong sword, stars like the sun light up. Every time a star lights up, its breath suddenly rises. Boom! Heaven and earth are shaking restlessly, all methods are shaking, and all ways are wailing. The whole world seems to be afraid of this knife. Longchen looks at Minghong Dao with a touch of pain in his eyes. His face is full of sadness. But he knows that this is what Minghong Dao wants most. When the 7 stars light up on Minghong's sword, it absorbs all the killing air between the heaven and the earth. One sword gathers endless power of destruction. Long Aoshan's face changed greatly. With a roar, he held the sword in both hands, and the 3 flowers behind him flowed. The endless runes and divine radiance on the 3 flowers rushed into the sword, and the 3 flowers behind him quickly faded. Kill, Long Chen and Long Outyin roar at the same time. They are determined to kill each other. This is a fatalistic duel between them. There is no way out for them to win or lose. Amon back. When he saw this scene, Lu Rian yelled. Amon was very obedient and rushed back for the first time. Buzz, at the same time, Chu Yao's jade hand is tightly pressed on Lu Rian's back, and the endless force of wood rushes into Lu Rian's body. Endless willow branches interweave together to form thousands of shields, covering everyone. Li Qi Mingyuan, Xiachen shouts. Understand, Li Qi and Song Mingyuan drink at the same time, hands together, endless wall along Lu Rian's defense overlapping blockade. Here, Li Qi and Song Mingyuan suffer the most. Because the arena is hanging in the air, they can't borrow it. They can only use their own land to set up defense. When they finished the arrangement, Xiachen gritted his teeth, and hundreds of array plates lit up in the void, forming a huge shield. In addition to Li Qi's and Song Mingyuan's defense, another layer of defense was arranged. The Dragon Blood Regiment moves very quickly and cooperates with each other very skillfully, but Lian Wuing and others change their faces when they see this scene. Set up the defense. Yi Wuchen and others screamed in horror. Seeing the absolute defense of the Dragon Blood Army, they suddenly realized that it was going to be bad. Boom! Just when they were in a hurry to arrange their defense, Longchen's Minghong sword and Longaoshan's Qijue sword were cut together. With a loud noise, 2 magic weapons burst into pieces. The power of the fury, even immortal magic soldiers cannot hold. A huge mushroom cloud soared into the sky. At the same time, ripples spread in all directions. Bang! The whole arena exploded, and it finally disintegrated under this attack. The Endless Strong, though equipped with the strongest defense, were still destroyed in an instant and turned into powder in an instant. Only some powerful forces barely withstood the blow. When the challenge arena burst into pieces, they flew out in a panic like a rolling gourd. Boom boom. When the terrible ripples swept through the Holy King state, the already full of holes in the Holy King state was wiped out in an instant, and the Endless Strong fled in confusion. I don't know how many people were crushed to death by the terrible wind. Boom. At the moment when the ripples of terror were rampant, the array arranged by Xiachen suddenly burst into pieces. The huge force collided with the wall arranged by Li Qi and Song Mingyuan, and the wall directly collapsed. Under the pressure of great power, Lu Ruiyan's ball is rapidly deformed. After all, Lu Ruiyan has too many people to protect. The larger the defense range, the greater the strength he can bear. It can be said that the attack he can bear is dozens of times larger than others. Fortunately, when the border broke, Lu Ruiyan's defense ball rolled out directly, and his strength was relieved, and the pressure was reduced a lot. Lu Ruiyan's defense was not damaged. It's just that the ball is rolling all the way, and the people inside are suffering, but anyway, everyone is safe. Boom! When Lu Ruiyan untied his defense, everyone was shocked to see the scene in front of him, and couldn't recognize where it was. The challenge arena is gone, the ring of the sea is gone, the endless buildings have become ruins, and there is no previous shadow. If they can't see the endless figure in the void, they even think that they have been transported to a strange place. Guoran and others look at the center of the battlefield, and they cheer, because Long Chen is still alive. He is covered with blood, standing in the void, still like the invincible god of war. Long Chen moved, his Kunping wings behind him trembled, leaned down and rushed straight at a figure. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 4271 Long Ao Tian. When people see the figure clearly, they can't help but be surprised that it's not someone else, it's Long Outyin. Long Outyin is lying on the ground. There are many wounds on his body, and his breath has turned weak. It is obvious that the blow just now has exhausted too much of his strength. Seeing the dragon dust coming, the face of the dragon Outyin was twisted, and his body bounced up from the ground. He punched the dragon dust. On his fist, 3 colors of pattern flow, a punch-out, heaven and earth roar. Even if it is the end of the crossbow, his strength is still terrible. On Long Chen's fist, 7 stars circulate and smash with the same fist. Boom! In a burst, there was a shrill cry from Long Outyin. One of his arms was burst by Long Chen. Long Outyin is defeated. Some people can't help sighing. As strong as a dragon and proud of heaven, he awakened the vision of 3 flowers in the sky and was expected to attack the emperor. But he still failed? What kind of monster is this dragon dust? How terrible is Long Outyin? It's beyond people's imagination, even lost to Long Chen. This kind of failure is the most direct, without any excuse. After the shock, their energy was greatly damaged, but the remaining strength of Long Chen was stronger than that of Longation. Their victory or defeat was too obvious. In other words, Long Chen's strength was not a little bit stronger than that of Longation. Long Chen smashes Long Aoshan's arm with a fist. His body moves and he bends down again. Like a flash of lightning, he catches up with him and sticks out his claw and goes straight to Long Aoshan's throat. Buzz! All of a sudden, the void trembled, and a spear came through the void, piercing the heart of Long Chen. It was fast and fierce. Listening to the terrible sound of breaking the void, we knew that it was a congenital heaven-strong man who made the best use of it. Moreover, this man is very skillful and will be saved if he attacks the enemy. If Long Chen wants to kill Long Outyin, he will be hit by this attack. Bang! The dragon dust big hand grasps, the Mars splashes, that spearhead is caught by the dragon dust. When Long Chen looks back, his eyes are cold. The man is not someone else, but the arrogant and domineering 8 elders of the dragon family. The 8 elders of the dragon family stab out with one blow. Seeing the sight of Long Chen, they are scared to stand up all over. Bang! All of a sudden, he crushed a piece of jade fu. The jade fu burst into pieces, and the power of space wrapped him in an instant. Obviously, the 8th elder is very cunning. He has figured out the way back before he moves. He thinks that he is not the opponent of Longchen. When he can't escape, he directly uses the teleport to escape. Poof! Just at the moment when Elder 8 was wrapped by the power of space, the spear in Longchen's hand pushed forward, and the huge power directly penetrated Elder 8's body. But when Longchen was ready to shatter it, the power of space started and sent him out directly. However, the dragon dust this blow how overbearing, even if did not on the spot shatter him, estimated that can survive the probability is not high. Just at the moment when the 8 elders fled, the spear in Longchen's hand quickly threw out and flew straight to Longation. Long Aoshan's right hand is broken. At this time, his left hand holds a jade card, which is also a transmission symbol. Poof! As a result, the jade talisman was smashed by the spear, the jade talisman and the palm of the hand before it was crushed. With a scream, the dragon Outyin stepped on the ground with his feet, and the man ran out like a meteor. "Elder, help me!" As Long Outyin ran away, he cried out in horror. At this time, he no longer had his previous master demeanor and was as anxious as a lost dog. Seeing the cry of Long Outyin, he looks frightened. Countless strong people sigh in their hearts. Long Outyin is over. This defeat will completely make him lose confidence. The devil will not be removed. If he has such a good talent, his future achievements will be extremely limited. Let alone to win the throne, even to break through the heaven is a great difficulty. I'm afraid that this genius is completely abandoned, and it's just defeated by the dragon dust. Buzz, all of a sudden, Long Chen's face changed greatly. He found that the demons, the Blood Clan, the Monster Clan, the Undead Clan, the Dark Knight Clan, the Netherworld and so on were rushing to the Dragon Blood Army. At that moment, Long Chen suddenly understood that their goal was to absorb all the strong runes. They are not willing to let these Qiyun runes be obtained by the Terrans. Once these people grow up, it will completely affect the future situation. At that time, other races may be suppressed by the Terrans. Just when Long Chen was chasing Long Outyin, there had been a fierce scuffle over there. The strong men of Lingshao Academy, Xinghe Sect and Zhanshan Temple all took action. But there are too many enemies. They come from all directions like tides. Obviously, they want to take advantage of the chaos and kill all these arrogant people. They must not give them time to grow up. Long Chen looks at Long Outyin who is running away, and at his comrades who are about to be trapped. For a moment he is in a difficult choice. If he goes after Long Outyin, maybe the Dragon Blood Army can barely protect itself, and others will die. If you give up chasing Long Outyin, I'm afraid there won't be such a good chance in the future. Long Chen's life is decisive, but he doesn't know what to do at this time. Elder Martial Brother Longchen, don't worry about us. Revenge matters. Kill the bastard Long Outyin. Seeing that the dragon dust who chases the dragon Outyin suddenly stops, someone sees the clue and shouts loudly, unwilling to give up revenge. The strong ones who yell are those who support Long Chen. When they know about Long Chen's tragic experience, they are very angry. If they don't have poor strength, they will attack him. Even if they bite him with their teeth, they will kill Long Outyin. Just let you live a little longer. As Long Chen bites his teeth, he suddenly turns back. Behind him, the wings of Kunpeng spread, and people rush to the Dragon Blood Army. Buzz, dragon dust, left hand thunder, right hand flame, 9 days above the thunder rolling, chanting sound resounding through the world. Thunder and fire destroy the world, dragon dust stops drinking, hands close, thunder and flame blend, a lotus with endless destruction breath, smashed at the strong below. Boom, thunder and fire interweave and break out among the crowd. Countless strong people are directly engulfed by thunder and fire, and directly turn into fly ash. Even the inborn heaven-level strong people are not immune. Kill him, this man must not stay. Countless strong men roared and killed Longchen. Although Longchen's attack was terrible, it was no longer as powerful as that of Longation. It was obvious that Longchen's combat power had begun to decline. Once the combat power begins to decline, people will become weaker and weaker. This is the best time to kill Longchen. Roar, after the endless thunder and fire raging, they immediately turned into two dragons. It was Lei Linger and Hua Linger who launched the attack. Boom boom. The two dragons start breathing, the flame and thunder interweave, and the endless strong are directly smashed, and Lei Linger rushes straight to the thunder purple lizard family, and madly kills the strong of this family. Hua Linger's whole body is full of flames and rushes to the strong ones who intercept the dragon dust. At this time, they burst out with all their strength without any reservation. The strong ones are killed, and the scene is bloody. Boom, Longchen broke through the siege and killed the Dragon Blood army directly. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.